You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Mina.
Hey everyone, it is the center of attention, Brittany Brooks, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Come on over, Simply. I'm being see, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay.
Sabu's just sabotaging you.
Yep. He sure did.
Hijacking.
Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
Shout out to Simply Reliable Studios making their Symphony debut, sponsoring this match and the entire Dragon Kai demonstration.
Heyo, this is Jack Cartwheel. You are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula.
The Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim, you're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the weekly moderated insanity known as the Shenanigans here across the Simply Reliable Studios brand of channels. It is I, your moderator extraordinaire, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, back in the hill seat, joined by the Island of Misfit Toys, the Simple Man Noah Foster.
Hello everybody, and welcome back here once again to the Simply Reliable Studios. You know what this is? Perhaps some friends, but voice us for a favorite for all-face professional wrestling. Damn it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the panel. First and foremost, my partner in Love the Bed in AEW. We call the rest of the life and probably upset stomach mindset for some other stuff tonight. It is, of course, Mr. Reliable, Simply Reliable, in true original form, Walter Cruz.
Ronda won in literally 17 fucking seconds. She tackled Gina. Gina fought a little bit. She turned to the side, got that armbar, and she tapped. Literally 17 seconds in the first round.
Well, at least I know I can last longer than Gina Carano. We've got one half of the Canadian connection and a man who just got done doing some hockey coverage with the Scat Boy. Nick is here. What is up, sir?
Why were you guys talking about boobies for 45 minutes?
Theme of the week, today's.
She's yours, she's mine, she's our Canadian friend, Ash. That's actually elegant and not fake. Hello, Ash, how are you?
Enough is enough. I've had it with these motherfucking AEW wrestlers winning my motherfucking New Japan title.
Make sure you tune in every week because you never know who's going to drop in to join the Shenanigans. We do have the man who started it all. Jeff Meacham is with us.
I'm impressed with what's going on at the JCW. I'm happy for Russo. I'm happy for Vito. I am a viewer, again, when I can get home and sit my ass down for a half hour, whatever it is, and enjoy that shit.
Popping out before midnight virtually on this app. It is my cohort as fellow gamer and crazy wrestling watching aficionado, Charles Schultz, will also be joining me tonight in the fray as I welcome you into the Shenanigans once again at the end of this fine Saturday.
I just want to keep seeing Mr. Guana show up every single time and just Polyaska. I'm still agreeing with JJ. We still need that freaking multi-person puppet match.
A puppet is not a competitor!
Sex dolls are competitors if you go to the right company.
Teleporting in via the morphing grid, our very own Pink Ranger is here.
Hey,
everybody. You know, I know the firing of Scott D'Amore is controversial, but I feel like he needed to go in order for TNA to grow. Don't get me wrong, we had some good stuff under Scott D'Amore, but the company was just stagnant. And look how much they've grown.
If this is what it took for her to acknowledge some of my NXT talent, then I'm here for it. Because we know she doesn't work Tuesdays. So the fact that she watches Thursdays and is still getting exposed to my talent, like, hey, something happened, right? She told me the other night that Trick and A was some of the best stuff in TNA.
Yeah, I actually really did like Chicken May.
I was completely shocked and blown away to discover it was Chad Gable under that mask. I had no idea. I would have never guessed it. I never saw it coming. This was just mind-numbing. This was like the reveal that Juan Cena was John Cena. I never in a million years would have guessed that Chad Gable was going to have that.
Is Tweet ever going to lose that title?
Well, everyone can be a dickhead, but how strong of a dickhead are you is the real question. I have a pretty strong dick.
I'll take your report.
Good night, everybody. Hopefully no one else heard that.
Cool.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome once again to the weekly moderated insanity known as the Shenanigans. It is I, your moderator extraordinaire, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, here to anchor things for this evening. We have a panel, a gaggle of fools, as the simple man Noah Foster would say, waiting to come into the studio. So let's go ahead and begin bringing them in, including and beginning with the simple man himself, my cohort and co-host in all the shenanigans. Damn it. How are we doing tonight, Noah?
I'm tired, but I'm all right. Been a long day, but here as always with the shenanigans for the 2 hours before going to bed, before more important things that are ahead Sunday morning. So you know me. Further ado, let's get into it, JJ, but I'm doing all right.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Usually we save this guy for last, but God damn it, we're going to give him his just due since he was the first person to actually pop in here tonight. The Nick Fury of the Simply Reliable Studios is here. The man who assembled the Avengers, Jeff motherfucking Meacham, is here. How are we doing tonight, Jeff?
Been a while.
You're muted, Meacham.
Botch.
Wouldn't be Jeff without a botch to start with. There we go. Thank you. I hadn't watched it open yet because I've been working every Saturday. I did not need to be reminded that Noah has a strong dick, so that's cool. Okay. I don't know what the fuck to do with this show going forward now. I'd like having Noah say it out loud was the best part. It's
you get one moment of Noah Ferguson and you never hear the end of it from the late.
No.
So between that and like I said in the comments, may the Noah crash outs over Chad Gable forever live, because they will never be here again, because now we know all along that he was El Grande Americano. Just so sad that we have to lose these crash outs because of AAA's tremendous booking. Let me just heap all the praise on Mark Calloway. But
the greatest wrestling match for WWE of all time, right?
Can you still can't fuck with that?
And it's not just Meltzer saying it, Sports Illustrated saying it, Bleacher Report saying it, ESPN is saying it, NoDQ.com is saying it.
Damn it.
Oh, it's always good to come home.
But I digress.
Yes, because there's still one more person at least.
Two more people.
Else popped in. Okay. Two people. Yes.
See if that's it.
We've got to bring in the other gentleman who made up the commentary team today for Night of Champions. The man who shouted so loud, I think he ruptured my eardrum.
Yes.
When the unthinkable happened in the main event, and we will get to that in a little bit. But Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz is here.
Yeah.
Hello.
What is going on, Walter?
Nothing much. My own ears are ringing. I didn't realize how loud I got.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful about
that. What, though? I was telling Jay, like I said, we'll talk about it, but the moment before, I think, is what's so poignant, because you and I are both like, all right, here we go. We're resigned to our fate. Like, nope,
groundbreaker.
Just kidding. Yeah, it was something. I'm looking forward to talking more about it.
And then last but not least, we've got to add a little bit of estrogen to the sausage party.
A little long hot part, but all right.
She's yours, she's mine, she's our Canadian friend. Ash.
Wow.
Orange Mountain Dew.
It's a theme song. I'm here for this shit. How much of these shows have I missed?
Been a while,
I
Jeff.
swear this was a Noah thing because he's the one that always used to be like, she's yours, she's mine, she's our Canadian friend, Ash. And then all of a sudden it morphed, pun intended, into her own little entrance theme. Like,
yeah,
I'm here for it though. It's
Yeah,
catchy,
fuck
it's
it.
poppy, it totally fits. Ash, how are we doing tonight, Ash?
It's all good in the hood, yo.
Wow.
That was the whitest, blackest gangster thing I've ever heard a Canadian say in my life.
If the bottom row is going for whitest person of the week award, it's going to be a toss-up now.
That's worse than the dick comment.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Accurate.
I wasn't
thought
expecting
maybe
it to be
saying
fair.
that now too. When I ask them how are things going, and they go, "It's all good in the hood." I'm like, "Oh my god, you guys!"
Like seriously, you can't speak like a normal person.
It's going great. He's got a strong dick. It's going good. Yeah, it's all good.
Welcome back, Jeff.
There's not near enough booze in this new house yet. Oh my god. Next week. Next week. Oh wait,
I
no,
know.
fuck. Never mind.
I know Noah resents me every day for putting that in there.
Yeah, I do.
But like I told him, like, if you're the editor guy going back and trying to make an intro with funny comments and you come across that clip, how do you not clip it?
Yeah, no kidding. That's fair.
I can't think of anybody that wouldn't have clipped that for part of the intro. And the fact that it's the end.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Hope nobody else heard me say that. Like, perfect way to end everything.
And it perfectly fit. Beavis and Butthead would definitely watch something just because the next line would be, "Hey, he said dick."
That's the main reason Mina Shirakawa is still in there, because Beavis and Butthead watching a hot chick talking about 69 is totally something they'd be watching.
It is so funny how the opening has evolved since you've taken over the editing of the open, and just the fact that those two dipshits are still there watching us and watching the intros and the clips and everything is great. I love it.
I mean, I look at it like this, and yes, it definitely, it sits with me a little bit because obviously I grew up on Beavis and Butthead. I don't know about the rest of you, Ash. I think you're a little too young to have really grown up on them. You might have seen them in, here and there, but I don't think
my
grew up
dad
on
used to let me watch Beavis and Butthead with him sometimes. Do I remember it? No, because I was a very small child. So
yeah. So the way I look at it, it's like, okay, Beavis and Butthead, what are they known for? They're known for sitting back and watching music videos and channel hopping through the stuff that they think sucks.
Yes.
So the original concept was, let's have them channel hop through all the other promotions.
Yep.
And then when they get to the Shenanigans, they leave it there because they think it's cool.
Yeah.
They put the remote down. Okay, cool. Well, over time, and especially this year, since January, our stock has risen so much.
Yeah.
With promoters and talent and, some of the people we have had on the show and are going to have on the show, that we've got all these clips now of people shouting us out, like Bust in the Brain when they received their Tag Team of the Year award. We've got the sponsorships and the people talking about us on commentary or doing the ring announcement. We've got, the little promo videos from Cartwheel and Brittany shouting us out, like, okay, so let's have them channel hop through this. And they realize they're going through Simply Reliable Studios, like they keep hitting these different clips of us.
Yeah.
And then, bam, it hits the intro, and boom, we're off to the races. And again, the remote goes down because the entire intro plays. And now here we are. We're into it. And speaking of into it, popping into the green room just like he pops his head out of the manhole cover. Charles is now here joining us for the Shenanigans.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
See, I wondered someone was going to get that when I did that. Nice.
So that's why Beavis and Butthead are still around, and then I found a video that had them like from behind watching a static screen.
Yeah.
So I used that and then put our clips over it. So you had the little bit of them changing the channel, then you had them shot from behind watching the clips. See?
Yeah.
Very creative,
I love it.
Like I said, I put a lot of hard work into it. Jeff had never seen the new introductions, and now he's seen it all. He'd seen the Beavis and Butthead portion because of the PLE today.
Yeah.
But he had never seen that whole entirety. Now you need to see the one for the interviews because, of course, I've got the clip from you and Heather Lynn with the Cowboys and everything in there. But that all being said, now that we've wasted about 15 minutes just talking about the introduction.
Yes.
How are we doing tonight, everybody? We've got a decent crowd coming into the chat room. We've got almost 60 people watching us already.
It's probably not burnt out from earlier.
Because this is the first Shenanigans that is going across Aaron Rift's personal YouTube and X account.
Right, that's right.
Night of Champions was the official kickoff of this, if you want to call it, partnership or collaboration.
Yes.
The couple interviews we had prior to that was like the soft opening.
Yeah.
Night of Champions, and then Forbidden Door tomorrow. That's hard grand opening, man. We've kicked the door off of everything now.
Yes.
So I'm sure a lot of those 60 plus people are watching on his accounts, which is cool. Hello and welcome to all of the new eyes on the Simply Reliable Studios and the Saturday Shenanigans. For those of y'all that have never tuned in before, essentially Saturday Shenanigans is a more R-rated, longer version of the No DQ review.
That was fucking.
If you're familiar with the No DQ review, where they talk about the big news stories of the week, that's essentially what Shenanigans is. But whereas the No DQ review gets wrapped up in a bow in a nice little hour 15 minutes, maybe hour and a half if Psycho Jet Black is there, super chatting like a mama, we tend to go 3 to 4 hours. Unless Noah's hosting, Noah usually can get the shit in about a nice 2.5 hours. But when I'm at the helm, we end up getting off the rails. We, go from wrestling to hockey to music to video games to it's insanity. Or as a pun here to steal Walter's gimmick that Jeff would be familiar with, it's a little midnight insanity.
Yes, quite so. It's and whenever I happen to pop in where I'm available for, under 4 is not likely. Just saying.
And to the point, Marshall here asking, when did we begin using the channel? This is the first time we've done Shenanigans on Aaron's channel.
Yes, we are aware that Aaron's used to be the Cat Diaries. Unfortunately, Aaron lost both of his cats a couple years ago. I think it was now that Casey and Sassy both left this world. Aaron and I have been talking about having the watch-alongs go across his channel or No DQ channel for quite a while, and it just never really happened for a variety of reasons, but. The gentleman in the top row made it happen. And I am, again, you guys, when I'm not here, continue to lay the praise upon me, the founder of the feast. Call me the Nick Fury is a little much because I have both eyes working. I'm not a bad motherfucker like Samuel L. Jackson, but I'll take it. I'll take that title as the assembler of the Avengers. It is so cool to see Aaron's audience now watching you guys do your thing, and I haven't popped in watching me be part of it. It was really cool. It was cool knowing that a lot of the audience from Aaron's side was watching Night of Champions and watching the reactions that Walter and I had to pretty much the whole show. It was a great show today. So to answer your question, how we're doing, I am nostalgically and currently overwhelmed with gratitude with all things going on for you guys in the first half of this year.
Marshall, I'll tell you what, if you can find me on social media, message me, maybe next week.
Yeah.
Let us try and introduce the audience to the regulars.
Yeah.
And then maybe next week we'll shoot you the link and we'll let you join us, because I'm sure Jeff won't be able to be here next week.
I can't, yeah.
And you never know about Ash and her work schedule. You never know Charles. And you definitely never know about the other half of the Canadian connection.
No.
Who needs to stay on his best good behavior today, as we had a Canadian win the WWE Championship. So I don't want to hear no talk about any specific Canadian provinces, sir. But the Canadian King of Food, Nick, is here.
They missed my nonsense. Okay, you gotta go in quick.
They missed your nonsense. You are nonsense. What's going on, everybody?
Ready? Go. Skater.
This is a car, so it's gonna be short and sweet here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, just kidding. Okay.
What happened?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you and the sirens and the dog and all the things.
No, I mean, I just had the dog. I don't know who the sirens were.
That's from me, North End in Winnipeg, typical day.
And you guys don't want me to talk shit about Winnipeg.
No,
really?
no.
I will come down there and fight you. I will get my dad to drive me 6 hours to where you live.
It is NHL draft weekend. It is Canadian Christmas. All right, let's just calm the fuck down. Like seriously. Well, actually, no. Stanley Cup Canadian Christmas. It's more like Canadian Easter because we got the draft, the resurrection of the new people in the season. So there you go. Yeah.
It's Canadian Hanukkah. You get like 8 days of draft.
Damn it, JJ.
Drafts last for more than 1 day, so you get like multiple days.
Hey, and it was a good draft. Everybody I follow did pretty well. So
it was a really good draft.
Really, we're not here to talk about drafts.
I'm sorry.
The Stanley Cup, though, the Stanley Cup can't be Canadian Christmas unless they all get lump of coals because they never won it.
Listen, there's only one thing. There's only one thing that matters in the Canadian in the draft today. This year, there's only one thing. Now I got 2 McKennas I have to cheer for.
It's valid.
That's it.
It's valid.
I got 2 McKennas I got to cheer for. So I'm good. There's room in my heart for more than 1 McKenna. So
and winding it back to wrestling, the one that we interviewed is going for the now vacant Pro Wrestling Symphony Women's Championship at Free for All, as unfortunately Freya the Slaya is injured.
Yeah. So
her partner Sigrid, the former Erica Demia, now known as Anya Rune, I think.
Yeah, Aria Rune.
And Kaya are all fighting for the vacant championship. So let's go, Kaya.
Yes, but I mean, if we're really talking about free for all, there's one match on that show that just.
Oh yes, we'll get there, Nick. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there, but before we get to that, because Noah is on a timeline, and we've already almost burned a half hour.
I didn't piss him off yet. What the hell?
No. I'm not talking about that, but he sets a 2-hour timer. We're like 25 minutes damn near into that 2 hours. And we haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes of conversation yet. We're still bullshitting.
We're still bringing everybody in.
So let's pause, time out, run it real quick, Jey Uso style. And let's get into things. Earlier this morning for us West Coasters, we had from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, WWE United Champions. I'm assuming by now everyone has either seen the PLE or at least seen the highlights, the clips, the social medias. We have Kinoba. We have Queen Io. Trick and Tiffy Time retained their United States titles. Braun Breaker fell to Seth freaking Rollins, probably partially due to that gouge he got on his eye that was bleeding all kinds of gnarly. You would have thought it was Matt Tremont and his ruptured pus bubble. And your new WWE champion, the lovable Muppet himself, Sami fucking Zayn.
Oi!
Now, before we get into everyone's thoughts of Night of Champions and everything, I'm going to turn to the man in the middle here. I'm going to turn to my co-host extraordinaire. I'm going to turn to the man who moderated Simply Predicting. Noah, did I call it or did I call it, my brother?
You did. I gave you credit where credit's due. You absolutely called it.
So I'm going to throw it to you first, bruv, because I know you're focused on other stuff, so you can give your simple breakdown here, and then you can get back to what you're typing as I go around the horn to everybody else.
I mean, it's a credible moment, and that's what WWE is about at the end of the day. It's moments. They capitalize when they think they can maximize the outlook of an event that happens, whether it's negative, positive. It brings a conversation, and it brings eyes towards at least maybe the next week. It definitely also puts out there that maybe next year it will be something completely different that won't involve Sami Zayn holding or going after the undisputed WWE Championship. And the fact of the matter that he pinned Cody Rhodes and doing it via reverse roll-up, and Gooper right now is trying to beef with Nick Aldis, it also leads me to believe that we might see Nick Aldis back in the ring, and much to what I thought about, it will be Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. But much to what you thought about with Saturday's main event so close around the corner, it sounds like to me that this might be just a fleeting moment, but still, the fact of the matter that he's been involved in this for 25 years, and we can now say Sami Zayn is or has been WWE champion. It's very nice. It actually was the one moment that it mattered as I was able to watch the, let's see, that thing was like 3 hours long for y'all, right? You had 5-minute long commercial breaks. I ran it back. I only watched the matches because F Def Rebel, F Promotions. The advertisement breaks were only 1 minute long. And I watched all the matches in full and the entire thing in under 2 hours. So there you go. But yeah, it was definitely a jaw-dropping moment that WWE has not given me the likes of since I don't know when. I'm very happy for Sami Zayn, and I hope that they capitalize on this because he's more than deserving of it. As far as Gunther Nick Aldis, hey, he's called the career killer. You want to bring that back? See if he kills Nick Aldis' in-ring career altogether. And keep that gimmick alive, and don't pigeonhole him into being a champion and losing it immediately. I hope Sami Zayn's moment is not a flash in the pan, and hopefully it means Cody Rhodes does not hold on to this championship again for a little while, because I think there are a selective number of people that are sick of that. But congrats to Sami.
Walter, you were the lead man on the call. I mean, I know you blasted my eardrum here, but I actually think I heard you all the way from Grass Valley. I think Jeff heard you from Grass Valley. I think Ash heard you from Grass Valley, the way you were screaming. Take us back to that moment and you getting to call Sami Zayn doing the unthinkable, man.
He's muted.
Botch.
It means a lot because, like Jeff said, the moments before that, you get that double crossover, and I was like, here's the bullshit. Gunther's going to fall out of the ring, and it's going to leave Sami. And for him to reverse that and turn it into a simple roll-up or cradle, whatever you want to call it, victory roll, whatever that's really called.
Reverse roll.
And then get the three, like, yeah, I was loud as hell, and I'm so happy for him. Like they finally pulled it, and I was thinking it because I said the amount of times that they kept making Gunther say, "You never been champ, you never will be champ, you never." I was like, ah, they're freaking teasing. He's gonna be champion. I just thought they were gonna wait and have him win the Rumble in Saudi and win it at WrestleMania. But the fact that they did it here, you know, we talk about overused chants that you deserve it is very overused. But god damn it, if it's not really meant right now. No one deserves it more than that man. I think me screaming, I think the only person that was probably louder, but he wasn't on video, so we get to see was Kevin Owens. That man's got to be a proud brother, like crying for his brother, like that. Not literal brother, but his. You might as well call them brothers. And you guys followed his whole career, you know, from 20 years ago in a mask, thinking he will never make it. Then he finally makes the WWE, and then he goes through all these phases that he went through from being the man in the bloodline and all that. He very well deserves it. There's great all-time greats that never got to do what he just did. Mr. Perfect never won the WWE title. Kennedy was hot when he was in the WWE, never won the WWE title.
No.
There are so many people. Owen Hart, literally his brother, best there was, best there is, best there ever will be. Owen deserved to be the champ. Matter of fact, when I did that top 10, he was my number one person that have never won the title. But there were so many greats, Hall of Famers that just never got to get to that level. And Sammy is there. I don't care if it's for a flash in the pan. He said it after he won and he got interviewed. I don't care what happens tomorrow. I don't care what happens on Monday. My name is always in history. I can be called WWE champion. And it's true. You can never erase this moment. I don't care if somebody came in and cashed in right after, if they had the Money in the Bank and won, he still can say, I've been champion. And I'm so glad they did that. And he's from Canada, but he is Syrian descent, speaks Arab. So for him to do it over there in Saudi, among those people, I don't think a single eye was dry, and I don't think a single person was sitting down after that 3.
100%, you know, and we kind of said it during the Royal Prestige interview. You know, there may be people that have longer reigns than them. There may be people that have more reigns than them in the history of the Pro Wrestling Symphony Tag Championships, but they're the inaugural. Nobody will ever be able to take that away from them. You know, before I go to Jeff, who is on the call as well, I'm going to ask everybody to turn your headsets down just a little bit, because I do have a snippet of the call here from the end of that match.
Cody getting up. Is he going to hit Cody with the haluva kick? No, Gunther slaps the sleeper on him as he was running. Reverse. Cody, double crossroads.
God damn it.
And then he held on to Sammy as Gunther rolls out. Now we know what's about to happen.
Oh, man.
He held on. No! Sammy slipped! Roll up! 1, 2, 3! Sammy Zayn, Cody rolls! Sammy Zayn is the WWE champion! Holy shit!
Oh my God.
Sami Zayn rolled Cody up and is the new WWE champion. That almost looked like an accident. Holy shit!
Holy shit.
That's passion, damn it.
Oh my
The 10th time is the charm!
I don't even think I was that loud when Lola won the NXT title.
You were
not. And that's his mamacita.
Dude, I don't think the room was that loud when we realized Austin was going to wrestle. Like, oh shit, it's happening. But no, look, I don't recall who was in the audience besides me, so forgive me, Jay. But I was there when El Generico won a major grudge match that also happened to be for the PWG World Title against Human Tornado. In this little bitty, little bullshit armory in the middle of Van Nuys, California. I was there at Steenwolf when he and Kevin went to war in a ladder match and he became the PWG champion again. And I still wow myself at the fact that I got to be there when the two of them became the WWE World Tag Team Champions in Los Angeles at WrestleMania in the main event.
With the gorilla logo on their tights.
With the gorilla logo on their shorts, which you know flies under the radar, except it was on commentary this time, so that was cool. I can't even now, however many hours it is since it happened, I can't find myself believing that Sami Zayn is the WWE champion. It just blows me away. We sat there since those PWG moments. Oh, he should have been the Ring of Honor World Champion. And he won the TV title and the tag titles, and that's fine. Oh man, he should have been a longer reigning NXT champion, or you know, he should have, you know, upset John Cena. He should have. He finally fucking has. I talked about it on commentary. You know, the whole thing, the audible. Oh, they should have called an audible to Montreal. No, he should not have beaten Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns losing derails basically every part of the Bloodline story since then. You think about all the good Bloodline moments, and yeah, the Bloodline kind of is what it is now. But between that moment and the Raw Netflix premiere, that Bloodline story was fucking Oscar Emmy-worthy cinema. Looking at you, Emmys. Paul Heyman and I are going to die on that hill together, motherfuckers.
Damn right. Just like you're going to die on the hill that Ted DiBiase should be acknowledged as WWF champion.
Don't get me going.
All
don't
right,
do it.
let's not
Don't
go
do it. Because goddamn it, he should. But this, if it ends in the Garden, if it ends in Minneapolis, he's right. Much like Rey Mysterio, much like Jinder Mahal, much like Drew McIntyre the first time. Like, Drew McIntyre leaving that company, you would never thought he'd be back, let alone being the champion. Being a credible, us going, why the fuck was he not WWE champion before? Right? I don't know if Sammy will ever get that phrase, because none of us ever fucking fathomed this for him. Really. Simply predicting, yes, you did call it masterful, Nostradamus-like skills. I'm not even going to lie. But I think even in your gut of gut, it never was like, okay, yeah, it's a great story, but is it really actually going to happen for Sammy? And I'm having a very difficult time not welling up with tears over my friend being the champion. Yeah. You know, you and I both got to interact with him away from the eyes inside that ridiculous goddamn sweatbox. It's almost as bad in here right now. Just getting to talk to the man. And here we are, you know, over 20 years after those initial shows that we went to, attended at the same time, interacted with him at the same time. It's one of those moments that I'll sit back and I'll like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm not the wrestling guy anymore. I'm not the podcast guy anymore. Shit like this is why I come back. Stuff like this is why I get caught up in it and realize that I will never, ever fully retire and go away from it, because I can't lose this kind of emotion and reaction from my life, knowingly, willfully giving it up. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have that conversation with myself knowing that I'll miss stuff like today.
Right.
So fucking proud of him. So glad for him. So bummed for Kevin that he couldn't be there in person. And he even said that himself in his post on social. But man, it's so cool. And even if it does end in the Garden, like I said, or at SummerSlam in Minnesota, then at least it's a month-ish. And Sami Zayn in 2026, if you go back and talk to you or I or El Generico. The limited angle she had in 2006, I grant you.
Ole.
Ole, that's it. If you asked him if he'd be WWE champion, he'd say,
"See."
Now, he'd probably say no, but he'd still say Ole. Because it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling to think of Mr. Wrestling Kevin Steen and El Generico being heavy focal points of WWE storylines the last, 10 years or so. But it's fucking cool, and I'm here for it.
Charles?
I still try to recover from that because I will admit, I was probably going to have this reaction or expect this somewhat reaction if this were to happen next year at Mania. I just wasn't thinking it was going to happen today until that 3 count happened. Which, consider I had the coverage, but watch while I'm playing, which is my ear was also still rattled by Walter loud. Now I know how JJ felt, even more. Loved it. I would say I want Sammy to hold that belt until he's past SummerSlam. As long as he drops it to someone else that's not Cody Rhodes. That's all I want. Whew. Go to someone else now.
Ash? As I bounce back and forth here between then and now.
All aboard the Zane train. Whether it be a long ride or a short trip, choo-choo.
I'm waiting for the spaces tomorrow to see how many people are crashing out over this. I'm not going to lie. I'm waiting to see if it's as bad as when Jey Uso won the Rumble or not. Because part of me is just going to kick back and laugh.
Just like one of my favorite memes, the dog in the burning house. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Is that all you got to say? Is all aboard the Zane train?
Yes.
Nice and simple. Nick?
Yes. Sami Zayn.
Yes, it's your turn, buddy. Talk about it.
Happy for him. Good that he finally won it. I mean, I wish he kind of won it at WrestleMania. But I mean, he won it in front of his people. That's great.
Well, let's not forget, next year is Saudi Mania.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I would have hoped he would have won it probably next year. But I mean, Cody, what is Cody doing with the title? But I mean, I'm gonna call it a spade a spade. Creative in wrestling as a whole has been largely not good. So I mean, great for the win. What are they doing with him next? What feuds do they have planned for him? And where is this championship reign going? Because if it's literally just going to be until SummerSlam, then it's a waste, right? So hopefully they do something with him, and hopefully they put creative behind him, because obviously they didn't do it with Cody in this run. So see what happens.
Well, to that point, and I said this on Simply Predicting, I said this during the commentary, so what if he does only hold it until SummerSlam? I think it'll do more for his character, because now, and I keep comparing it to a crackhead, he's like a fiend. He's had that first fix, and it didn't last long, and he wants to get it back. He was already kind of teetering towards some heelish tactics calling himself the last real good guy, but kind of being a little bit heelish, like Sammy was losing his shit. I think a short reign would be exactly what it takes to make Sammy lose his shit. Then you get focused Sammy. So that when history repeats itself at Saudi Mania next year, now you got a long run. You know? I think a short reign wouldn't kill them. Nick? Oh, Nick, I was
Sorry.
talking to you, buddy. Like, if you're gonna be here, you gotta interact.
No, sorry, I had food in my mouth.
That's what she said.
That's what she did say. No, you're right. I mean, nothing. It always doesn't have to be a long reign. It could be a short reign to be an effective reign, but you only get there. It's just like we talked about with Royal Prestige. You only get this. You only get your first once, right? So, I just hope that they make this first count, right? That's all I mean. That's all I'm hoping for. Like they make it count. Because really, like again, wrestling in 2026 with, across both companies. For me, at least, I feel like there hasn't really been anything that is truly interesting. For me, at least. So, well, yeah, like I said, hopefully they do right by him, and they make this first title reign a memorable title reign.
Okay, fair enough. I saw Jeff's hand, and I know Charles had his hand up as well. Go ahead, Jeff.
In 2026, Nick, what does that mean for you? And I say that because, I mentioned Rey Mysterio being on the list of WWE champions. He was champion for a couple hours. I mentioned, you talk about Kane. The character of Kane maybe didn't need the WWE championship or the World Heavyweight Championship. He did hold both, but he was only WWE champion for a little less than 24 hours. What does meaningful, what does Sammy's reign as champion being worthy or worthwhile mean to you in June, July of 2026? What does that look like for you as a fan?
I would say, based on the company that he is in, telling proper stories and fleshing it out and being part of a grandiose storyline, I would say, right?
Okay.
Like, again, we always say, WWE and AEW, they're two different companies. One is more story centric, the other one is more wrestling centric.
Yes.
And in 2026, has WWE been telling these off the wall fire storylines like Bloodline, like the Bloodline was back so many years ago? I would say no.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I would want 2026. Based on that company, I'd want there to be proper story. Give us, proper feuds and builds. Tell that story, right? And
Okay.
have it lead to something grander, I guess.
Right.
If he was in AEW, let's just say, and Sammy won the AEW World Championship, I would say, give me good story, yes, but also give me top quality in ring work.
Okay.
Tell the story in the ring. Let the ring and the match be the story, rather than in WWE's case, telling that story outside of the ring, and then, yeah.
I just asked because I was doom scrolling as I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say next, and I read my post from the day after Backlash, and talking about having not watched that show, but seeing the commentary and the discourse about that show and about Fairway to Hell, and it felt like to me that people didn't manage their expectations of things going into both of those shows. And the online criticism, which is what it is, came off resulting from that. So I love that you said based on the company he's in. I love that you made sure you put that asterisk, that little toggle on the tag, because I personally am okay with Sami Zayn dropping the championship in the Garden or at SummerSlam. I'm also not okay with it going right back to Cody Rhodes. I think we, as much as I adore Cody and his brother and will forever love his family, and I have personal deep-rooted bias, I give not a fuck who likes it or not. We need a break from Cody being the guy. And for those of us that were just overjoyed when he came back 4 years ago, that's a nasty little acidic pill to swallow. But it is what it is. So I am all about him having Sami Zayn having a long, by 2026 standards, long WWE Championship reign. I want to remind everybody at home who most of you in the audience are part of the IWC. We're on the internet. We're talking about wrestling. We're a community. Therefore, we're part of it, whether we want to be or not. Manage your expectations. If he loses it on Monday, yeah, go fucking ape shit. Go off on your socials. Like, be those fucking twat waffles. But if he loses at the Garden or at SummerSlam, think big picture.
Yeah.
If he reigns beyond SummerSlam, fuck, dude, stand up and cheer for creative, because that's awesome. But, yeah. Anyway.
I would, sorry, real quick. So the way I look at this, and again, like I said, I'm basing my answer on the company more so and where they are. I look at this championship win and I can see it being like a Darby win when Darby won his, right?
Okay.
Now again, this is why I say based on the company, because both of them have that underdog spirit. Darby has it, Sammy has it.
Yeah.
But because they're in different companies, Darby's story was, how long is he going to go until his body breaks down?
Yeah.
Well, eventually we saw that, and that in that story, it was at Double or Nothing. It wasn't that, like, we saw that.
Yes.
I don't see the same with Sammy in WWE because they're I don't know. Again, where from what have they given us now in the interim before that? Like what direction have they given us to see where it's going for the future? You know what I mean? Like, at least when Darby's lead up to the AEW World Championship, we saw it. We said, okay, you know what I mean? Am I explaining it right? Like I saw it as soon as, and Noah can probably attest to it and probably knows more. What I'm trying to say is, we saw that win coming. We knew where it was going, because we already said it from the jump when they were teasing it, right?
Yeah.
That he's only going to last a month. And sure enough, with the story that they told and played out, it only lasted a short time. With Sammy winning it, what have they done in the interim to get us to that point? Where I can say, okay, if Sammy has a short reign, well, they've already, unless they're doing Obafemi versus Sami Zayn at SummerSlam.
It's very possible. Oba's the king of the ring. So I love you use the Darby analogy, and I say that because I saw Darby's brief run as what we should have gotten when Max was champion the first time. And we only didn't get it because his body betrayed him. The only reason I love Joe, I like John Moxley, I like all the guys that have been there, okay? The only reason those reigns happened between Max dropping at World's End 23 and regaining at World's End 25 is because Max had to leave to get better, and they had to find a way to put him back in that moment where he was going to be champion again. They couldn't just say, okay, hard reset, fucking Russo Bischoff, April 2000. Just kidding. They had to tell a story to get there, and they got us there, to AEW's credit. Tonight, the story has been Sammy is growing frustrated. Sammy's always been the guy that's been there, being supportive, being the last real good guy, being the guy boosting everybody else up, and getting told you're not worthy, being told you're never going to be that champion. I fucking said it in this show not 10, 15 minutes ago. I never envisioned that for him. That's your story. And if he does lose sooner than we think he should, JJ's point is valid. The crash out will be fucking extravagant. And then we get into Saudi and he wins it back, possibly. I'm here for it. I'm here for whatever happens. I try so hard to when I do pop back into the internet wrestling community to go, hey, let's calm our tits a bit here about creative, especially from Paul Levesque. Because, and again, I said this during the commentary today, I encourage everybody to go watch Chris Van Vliet's interview with Paul Heyman and Cody when he appeared on the Arowane show. Because I did not even consider the whole, Paul Levesque is serving so many different masters as the chief content officer, not just creative. He's in charge of everything that we see on internet streams, on YouTube clips, on ESPN, on NBCU, on every outlet they have. The problem is he also has to answer to the heads of NBCU and ESPN and, things like that. He's having to juggle. Tubi. He's having to juggle through at minimum 5 or 6 different, corporate network overseers going, okay, yeah, but on our show, we want this. That's a muckerfuther of a challenge for anybody, on top of having to actually have the stories lay out properly, which is why I have been very quiet in this second quarter about criticizing the creative, because what I have seen, dude, I will forever point to 1993 through 95 and go, not the worst, because that was the worst.
We don't talk about 1995. We don't talk
We do
about
not talk about 1995.
We don't talk about
The
that.
less you talk about it, the better off you are.
Yeah,
I still see your hand, Charles. I haven't forgotten.
I know, Charles. I'm sorry. I don't even say after Nitro, both shows were still pretty shitty, but end of 95, really 96. Yeah, I don't want to hear anything about how bad creative is, because no, it's not. It's not the worst it's ever been by a country fucking mile.
And there's also WCW 2000.
But again, I will defend that, which is scary because it's Vince Russo and people know how I feel about Russo. WCW
Because
2000,
of the changing of the guard and all the different bookers that were coming and going and trying to course correct. It's like J.J. Abrams and Rain Johnson.
Paul, right? Yeah, I will forever say, I'll go back to Jim Ross's quote about WCW 2000. Or it may have been Conrad Thompson. Vince Russo never got to coach a team for a full season once he left WWE. How can you expect a manager to turn things around in the season? It doesn't happen in real sports. It doesn't happen. It was an unfair thing then. It's even more unfair retrospectively to condemn Russo for that year of WCW. And to condemn Triple H, Paul Levesque right now, when we're not even out of it, we're still up in this shit, is unfair. Anyway.
For WCW 2000, at least you can make the argument that it's so bad, you can laugh at it. Whereas 1995, from what I've heard, there's nothing to laugh about.
Dude, every
Key Mabel. I'll leave it there. I want to get to Charles because he's been waiting patiently. But I wanted to also piggyback on what you guys were saying myself real quick. First and foremost, shout out to the over 100 of you guys that are watching us right now. biggest numbers Shenanigans has ever had.
Yes.
So right out the gate, thank you, Aaron Rift, for allowing us to be on your platforms. Every channel we are on right now has at least one person watching. And we are on the Casa channel. We are on, I want to say we're on Batty for Wrestling. We're on N Foster. We're on Walters. Yeah, we're on Walter. We're on Aaron. We're on Batty. We're on Noah. We're on Casa. Then we're on Walters X, the Simply Reliable X, and the Aaron Rift X. So all 8 channels that we're on right now have at least one person watching, over 100 people watching right now. Shout out to everybody that is tuned in for the Saturday Shenanigans. Now, before I hand it over to Charles, prior to coming in here tonight, I was watching everybody's favorite YouTube podcaster, no, not Aaron Rift. Watched that earlier. I was watching everybody's favorite podcaster from New York because I find him entertaining. You can like him, you cannot like him. I find him entertaining. The same way I found Howard Stern entertaining back in the day. He brought up a decent point, in my opinion, about Oba should go for Sammy. Why would you go after somebody that you might or might not be able to beat just to create a challenge for yourself? No. Go after somebody you can easily destroy to get your first title. So if we get Oba versus Zayn at SummerSlam, that leaves Roman open. Seth just ended his thing with the Vision. Seth has his sights set on the title, on his title, which Roman has. Now you have Seth versus Roman at SummerSlam. I feel like that just writes itself. Then Oba beats Sammy. We all feel Kenoba is going to ascend to his throne at SummerSlam. Sammy begins the next chapter of his story. I think he makes a good point. I think the booking logic there makes sense. Charles, you have been patient as fuck. Go ahead and peek your head out of the sewer and tell us what you have to say.
One, talking about Raw, creative, and everything else. Do we need to talk about 2019 too? Or no?
Oh, and speaking of Raw, let's not forget Monday night is a 2-for-1. It's Raw and SmackDown. Because the weekend is 4th of July weekend. So they're not going to do SmackDown live because of 4th of July weekend. They're going to do both shows on Monday. Can SmackDown. That way everybody can go home for the holiday weekend. Report back to Chicago, Illinois, July 6th for Raw. So let's keep that in mind.
That I didn't think on that until you mentioned that. And the second point I was going to say, yeah, if Sam were to lose the title at SummerSlam, it should be to Oba. Because at that point, everything that JJ just said makes sense. But then the question I would have to ask, considering it's now Gunther's dealing with Nick Aldis now, what the hell do you do with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam now?
It's a good question.
Because now since Oba won the tournament, and now Gunther's going up the nose, like, okay. Because they were going to do the Brock and Oba match at Saturday night's main event. It was like, all right. The hell do you do with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam? Because it'd be weird if you're having it in Minnesota and you don't have Brock on the card. It'll be weird. Forgot to ask that question. So I was thinking that all day.
Possibility.
That's all.
Interesting point.
Valid.
All right. Before we move on, does anybody else have anything they want to say about anything else as far as Night of Champions goes? Because we went around the horn, pretty much just talked about Sammy. Does anybody have anything they want to say about either the King or Queen winners? I feel like the Braun, Seth, and the 2 U.S. title matches are kind of, even though I think I got each of those wrong.
Yeah.
No, I got Trick right. I picked Trick to retain, but I picked Braun over Seth, and I picked Jade over Tiffy. That was 2 of my 3 losses there.
Yeah.
And I picked Livy to be Livy 2 belts instead of Io. So I went 50-50 for the day.
Yeah,
But does anybody have anything they want to say specifically about the King and Queen of the Ring winners?
I'm surprised they went with logical booking, if I'm going to be honest.
Well, but what's logical? Because we still don't know the severity of Rhea's injury.
Right. And that's the thing. We don't know. We're not going to know until they want us to know. And it could be that they're hoping, praying that Rhea can get better and defend her title. But they did move very quickly to have Io say, all right, Liv, it's you and me at SummerSlam. So we're not going to get that Io Rhea payoff, at least not yet.
Yeah.
Which, again, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Will so do ill-timed injuries and bullshit creative. It is what it is. By the way,
I mean, if Rhea is injured, we could do Tony Khan's favorite thing and set up a tournament to kick off on the Raw in Chicago and lead up until SummerSlam to crown a new champion.
We could.
Battle Royal. W's lazy. You know that.
As long as they don't crown an interim champion like Tony, I'm not opposed to that. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But
They
anyway.
haven't done that for a while.
Yeah, I will also say in my rant earlier, 2019 creative was fucking rough across the board.
We don't talk about 2019 or pandemic either. We don't talk about
2019 WWE creative was a huge help to AEW's initial success.
I'm not going to criticize pandemic booking too bad.
No.
Only because, Ash, that's when I came back into it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know of the dark times of 2019.
You're very
I
fortunate.
came back during the Thunderdome era.
Yeah, and
fair enough.
It's also the reason why I still hold Rainbow Bright NXT to such a high degree.
Yeah.
And why Noah still scoffs at me for it, because I wasn't watching for the Black and Gold era.
Right.
So my first exposure to NXT was 2.0 NXT.
Yes.
Had I been exposed to Black and Gold, maybe I wouldn't like 2.0 as much as I do.
Right. And 2019 WWE creative was rougher than sandpaper. On the flip side of that, though, AEW having the opportunity to just get that audience drawn in, for my money, when Roman Reigns had to dip out of WrestleMania due to the possible threat with his leukemia being affected by the isolated atmosphere, they talked about in the interview this week, that pullback on that couch, that god-awful couch that Vince McMahon hated so much, of Roman and Paul, saved Roman Reigns' career and gave us some of the best shit they possibly could have with what they had to work with.
Yep.
So, yeah, 2019, I will forever condemn the creative, but also thank you, because it got us out of the dark ages and back into the promised land that was the bloodline. But as far as the king and queen of the ring, I love that they went with logical booking. Io Sky has been she's been champion. She's kind of had a mixed bag of, working with factions and whatever for a bit. And then she's just been able to be on her own and just shine so bright. Whereas Liv could stand a peg or two to be knocked off of. And I think her losing this match without having to lose the title was key. If it had been a championship match and she'd have lost, I'd been like, okay, what are we doing?
And she was cursed to lose the match.
And she was cursed. So it didn't really hurt her. It only increased the power of Danhausen to the masses, which again, keep doing that. Keep doing that. Please just give me more Danhausen. Not like a whole show of it, but just have him cause this random shit of chaos that threads through.
Mm-hmm.
And I will take Frank and Miz all week, every week, because that shit, dude, I need to text Mike and go, God damn it, dude. You and Heyman both need Emmys now. This is ridiculous. Anyway. Mizhausen's my favorite thing. But Oba winning, it almost had to happen. And I only say that because we wouldn't be sitting here right now had Jay won, because the internet literally would have melted. We would have had no platform to use today.
Accurate.
So, and Oba, much like Brock Lesnar in his debut year on the main roster, is now the king of the ring. I don't think we're done with Brock Lesnar yet.
Nope.
I think whatever booking they've got in their twisted little bald-headed gray beard minds back there and creative has Brock Lesnar factored in against Oba Femi. Whether it's in Minnesota, whether it's in Riyadh next year around April,
or whether it's in the Garden.
Whether it's in the Garden in a few weeks, right? We don't know. And again, my whole thing about managed expectations, it's okay not to know. I swear to God it is, guys. That's the beauty of it. So I love that they're both king and queen. I love that the champions retained. Not a fan of the online backlash that went against Jade, particularly from who it came from. But, Jade, Jay's going to take it in stride and snatch everybody's bitches' wigs off, so she's not going to give a fuck anyway.
Nope. And that's one of the reasons I love her. And rocking that purple's another.
Damn, seriously. If everybody's favorite color wasn't purple before today, or, red, red shorts hugging things, then y'all aren't on the proper color wheel, clearly. I digress. How they're getting away with that shit in Saudi Arabia, I still don't know how they're getting away with it. Because the government's got to be going, yeah, okay, we'll allow it.
It's live and live is loved in Saudi, so that's how she got away with it.
That's probably valid. Probably the best balanced booked WWE show since this criticism of Paul Levesque really kicked into gear in the early part of the second quarter of the year. Because people have been on his shit. And I think this show was booked and presented very well today.
Agreed. Go ahead, Ash.
So I was going to say, I got a lot of my predictions wrong, and I couldn't not be any more happier about that.
Right.
Also, you guys was talking about Jade outfits. Can we talk about Io Sky's beautiful pink Power Ranger outfit? God damn.
Dude, she was adorable. Tiffany's outfit was fantastic. I was worried that butterfly thing was rigid enough on the top, it was going to be sharp and dangerous, and it just kind of flowed with the outfit. I was like, all right, I'll allow it.
I'm so happy Io won. I love her so much. Oh my God, I love her. I love Io. She's one of my favorites. I love that woman.
How do you not love Io?
Right? She's just one of those wrestlers who just, I see her and I'm just instantly happy.
No, I concur.
So, yeah, congrats to Oba winning, which is freaking cool. Io winning's awesome. Both champions retaining. Looking forward to who their next opponents are. And let's see where Sami Zayn's title run goes.
Dude, little Yachty being way too involved. I am curious where it goes now. Like he got actively cane swinging involved today. Like, curious.
I'm not going to say it because I do not want to put that BS in the ether.
No,
Hey,
say it. I'm curious.
What if what if we get Trick Williams versus Lil Yachty for the title?
No, I don't think that'll happen.
Exactly
Here you
my
go,
point.
Ash. Since you love Liv and her pink outfit so much, get a load of this.
Aw, yay!
love
Io and Danhausen!
EO
Oh my
Hausen.
god. Hey, look, guys, it's my two personalities.
Very, very pink, very evil.
You okay there, Noah?
Noah's face.
What the hell?
You know who Trick Williams should be facing next?
Carmelo
Oh, I
Hayes.
think I know who you're talking about, Nick.
No, honey, not you.
The gingerbread man?
You'd fucking pitch up, you're right. But guess what? Joe Hendry ain't no bitch.
Dude, I need Hendry back on TV. I need Hendry Hausen to be a
But no.
Or be cursed.
He is back on TV. He showed up on SmackDown.
Oh no, he went to the phone.
Last 10 minutes.
He showed up on SmackDown and helped make sure that what the hell did he do? Make sure the title was
You mean Raw?
The tag title. Yeah, Raw. He showed up and made sure the Profits won the tag titles.
Noah just took 10 minutes off of his time.
Which means we've got about 33 to go.
Yeah.
You show him what I said about a certain animal in the desert. It'll probably
Yes, and I commented back on it. You bad. You kind of trying to get us canceled as shit.
All right. So since Night of Champions is pretty much done, going to take a second, roll a commercial, come back, and we'll discuss the next big show. Because I know there's some stuff to talk about regarding Forbidden Door. We will be right back.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And it's really here that trailer show. Here at the Cinema Studios, we encompass, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react and cover all the wrestling. You must be figuring out stuff in the background.
There we
go.
You know, we say today's a good day. Not only we had Night of Champions, I'm back on Shenanigans. The Angels won, and they beat the Athletics at that. And the Dodgers done whooped the Padres' ass. So, I'm on a cloud. Let's go. All the positivity. Let's do it.
So to the 107 of you guys watching, that is what you can expect, some of what you can expect from us here at the Simply Reliable Studios. As we do cover watch-alongs from multiple companies.
Yes.
Not all of those will be on the Aaron Rift channels. So if you're interested in some of the smaller independent wrestling companies, GCW, House of Glory, Jersey Championship Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Symphony, Focus Pro Wrestling, even international stuff, AAA, New Japan, Stardom. We've got the G1 Climax coming up in a couple of weeks. Going to be doing the kickoff of that. So all those things that I just named won't be on any of Aaron's channels. So if that stuff interests you, make sure you subscribe to all the channels here within the Simply Reliable Studios. Which brings us to Forbidden Door tomorrow. And I mean, we've already done Simply Predicting. We've already talked about it these last couple weeks ad nauseum. You know, we've gone through the whole, is the Forbidden Door dead? The whole concept. We've talked about, you know, the individual matches. We've talked about what we're looking forward to. So the question would be, what is there really to discuss then? But I figure, you know, we're on the eve. You know, Safet keeps throwing into the chat, happy Forbidden Door weekend. He threw it in the chat while we were doing a WWE watch long, which was most definitely the wrong place and time for it.
Yeah.
Happy Wrestling Weekend is probably the more accurate thing to say, Safet, as there's WWE, NXT, TNA, GCW, and AEW this weekend. And that's just the stuff that we are going to eventually be covering, whether live or via Memorex. So just singling out one particular show and calling it that show's weekend is probably the wrong look in this group.
Yes.
Be careful before the band hammer comes out, good sir. This is your only warning. But last night during the CMLL show, there was a title change on the CMLL show, and it could play into a change for a match tomorrow. As tomorrow we have the teams of the Young Bucks, Unbound Co., and Sky Team in a triple threat match. El Sky Team are the new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions as of the CMLL show yesterday.
Oh.
Could those titles end up being put on the line tomorrow? Does that change anybody's prediction for the matches tomorrow? Obviously, things are kind of locked in for tomorrow come what time, Noah?
They're finalized at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on the East Coast, that is literally today.
Yeah.
And as of right now, we don't know if any changes have been made to that match. So it's the type of thing where if the change is made last minute, you ain't got time to change your picks.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing this to the forefront now because if anybody wants to potentially change their picks because they think the titles might get put on the line, you've only got a few hours to make that decision.
Yes.
But on the main reason I want to come to Forbidden Door is this. On the heels of WWE basically booking the right way in a lot of fans' eyes with Kinoba instead of Kinus, Queen Io instead of Queen Liv, and giving everybody's favorite Muppet the WWE Championship. what is good? What is it going to take from AEW to take away the chatter from WWE? Because Sami Zayn finally doing it, to steal a phrase from 1996, the boyhood dream of Sami Zayn has now come true. I think it's going to take something major from Tony Khan and AEW to take the talk point away from that.
Yeah.
What do you think it'll take? And I'll throw mine out there first, and then I'll go to Noah next, just because I know his time is limited, and then we'll kind of bounce around from Noah. We won't go in the same exact order, but I think the only thing they could do that would be equal, probably still a little bit lesser than, but on the same level, is Maya World winning the Owen.
Yeah.
And beating Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of that they could really do that would take some of that talking power away. Because Mercedes Moné is Roman Reigns. You do not bet against Mercedes in a big match situation.
No.
But she's lost every title belt except for the Owen belt. And if her downfall is truly to be complete, I feel she needs to lose that Owen belt. I did pick Maya World in Simply Predicting, just like I picked Sammy in Simply Predicting.
Yes.
Will I go for 2 for 2? Will I go 1 for 1? Jury's still out. We'll find out in a few hours. Noah, what do you think AEW could do? And don't just say put on a kick-ass show, because AEW sets the bar in their pay-per-views and yada, 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 because we know how you feel about AEW versus WWE. But from a talk point perspective, what is something that you think AEW could do tomorrow to take the narrative away from Sami Zayn becomes WWE champion?
I don't give a damn about the talk. I'm introverted, but I'll go ahead and feed into your conversation because you got 15 minutes left with me. Pretty much Maya World is the one biggest thing I think that you could definitely do there, where you have a huge angle with Will Ospreay that affects the entire narrative going all in, yet you still somehow involve him. Other than that, I don't have much more to say to this conversation because I don't think like that, nor look at the business like that, nor do the this versus that. I watch what I enjoy, and I'm a different type of fan and always will be. So as far as your point goes, you basically hit the nail on the head. The Cinderella story. You capitalize on it or you fail on it. Otherwise, it's just going to be fed talk that I'm not going to be part of, or I'm just going to humor. But I don't got much more to say besides that. Honestly, right now, I'm just ready to see how this Road to Forbidden Door begins and who is right now looking towards redemption or an ascension or revenge or something else in between. Nonetheless, either way, I'm looking forward to tomorrow evening, regardless.
See, and we love you having that perspective, Noah. But sometimes, bruv, it also grinds my gears, because here I try to set up like this gorgeous lob of a topic, and you're like, I don't give a fuck. Irks the ever-living shit out of me sometimes, bro.
Will never change, bruv. I am what I am.
I know.
All that I am.
So,
Boop, boop.
So from that, we're going to go to the other Mr. AEW, sitting there with his hand on his forehead like, Jesus Christ, JJ, what the fuck are you doing to me?
What? No.
Hi, Nick.
No. Why would I be sitting like that? Shove my hand on my head.
You're trying to think of things that you can say about Winnipeg, Manitoba without getting in trouble. I know you.
No, I'm not.
Good.
There's no, I'm not saying anything about Winnipeg, Manitoba. So we're good.
There's a Pager and a hell of a potential match tomorrow. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's a good boy, Nick. Now,
yeah.
What do you think that Tony Khan and AEW could do tomorrow to steal the talking narrative from WWE and Sami Zayn becomes WWE champion?
Announce Full Gear in Winnipeg, Manitoba. No, I'm kidding.
I wish.
Look, bro,
But
they're
they
not giving Canada like 3 pay-per-views. That ain't happening.
No.
No, if anything, Winnipeg would be getting World's End because that's the one pay-per-view not many people give a shit about. Let's be real here.
Which is
when
unfortunate, but
and I mean when you go to Winnipeg, it is World's End. Anyways, so
Nicholas,
On there.
uh,
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I'm not wrong. What the
hey,
fuck?
I'm sitting here trying to defend you, Ash. Don't play.
Although
into
you
it.
shouldn't be saying it, but still, you're
Right,
not
right,
wrong.
I was gonna say let Ash say it. At least then she's making fun of her own province.
Yeah, but we're neighbor provinces. I'm allowed to.
You get
so,
one.
What?
You said you get one, and that was your only one.
I'm not gonna say anything else. Anyways,
Good boy.
Oh, stop it, you.
What could AEW do to take away the talking point?
Because they're the last show of the weekend. Slammiversary will be over. Great American Bash starts an hour early, so it'll be over. Because we know Tony Khan's got his 6.5-hour pay-per-views.
Yeah, I think, and there's a couple things, but I do kind of agree with Noah in the sense of, WWE is about its moments. While granted it was a great moment, that's all that's all it really was, right? This pay-per-view, we know Tony does pay-per-views better than anybody, or PLEs, whatever you want to say. So I do think the event as a whole might take some steam out, but I do think while you guys said it would be Maya World and Mercedes, I'm actually gonna go with the result in the Will Ospreay match. For the reason being is because we're all expecting that this was Will's tournament to lose, right? Everybody has pegged him as the winner. Everybody has said he needs to win this tournament. He needs to main event All In. He needs to win the World Championship this year. Well, how would it look if he doesn't win the Owen? What are the ramifications coming out of Forbidden Door if he does not win the Owen? So I think the bigger talking point, again, I don't think it's going to be one thing. I think it'll be more than one thing. But at the same time, I do think that if Will doesn't win, that's a pretty significant talking point, because it's then like, what do they have planned? Where are they going with all of this? Right?
It's fair.
I just look at it in that way, because again, I think we see if Maya World wins, it's, to me at least, I don't think it's that shocking, because we know the story that they're trying to play with Mercedes, which is her evident downfall. And the story has been her losing these belts over a course of time. So, I mean, her losing it to further her deranged, crazy story arc, while yes, it would be an upset, I don't think it would be so much of a talking point, because, again, with the story that they're trying to play, it is in line. Will not winning the Owen and trying to find a different way into the main event of All In would be even more like his journey to the main event of All In, and it not coming easy, I think, is a bigger talking point, especially if, there's so many question marks around it. And we mentioned one on Simply Predicting. Where's Hangman in all this? Where does the Hangman fit in all this now that he can't challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship ever again?
Has he made, like, I was thinking about this throughout the day. Like, that's a really big question mark because you could play the story. Like, what happens again? Will doesn't lose because Hangman fucks him over. Right? Like, there's, I don't know. I would say that. I would say that it'd be Will and the outcome of that Owen match, I think would take away the conversation now. Negative or positive, we don't know. Will people bash the shit out of Tony and say, "Oh, you don't know what the fuck you're doing," or will people do like what Jeff says? Let it like play. Don't go all willy nilly on the IWC because you're pissy that you didn't get what you wanted. Let the shit manage your expectations.
Okay. Short, sweet, and to the point there from Nick. Our baddie friend Ash. And we know you're going to say Zack Sabre Jr. beating Kenny Omega, but
You think, but no.
no, I'm just kidding.
So one of them you touched on. So I have two things, and they both involve the women's matches. Maya World beating Mercedes in the Owen tournament final would be quite the headline. Same with the Starlight Kid beats Tekla, because the whole idea of, oh my god, this person from this other company got this company's title, that makes headlines, does it not? As evidenced by TNA people winning NXT titles, or sorry,
Right,
other way around.
reversed it.
Yes. I mean, would that not create headlines? Be like, we got this person from Stardom winning an AEW championship. And because this person is in a tournament, we might not see that title for who knows how long. And that's going to get people buzzing, especially in the AEW circle.
It's fair. That's a pretty good shout, Ash. Not going to lie. Jeff? Oh, okay. We'll go to Charles next, then we'll work our way across.
It's fine. I was just having issues trying to. I was on a different screen. This thing's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as far as the talking points, it's definitely going to come down to the Owen matches. So let me just say my own piece here. I do think those matches are going to be the talking points, depending on the outcomes. But I will say, for me, I'm heavily invested on if Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. can be fucking Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. in 2026. Kenny's not been the Omega for a while now, with being sick and having to take so much time off and still not fully back at that level. As a hardcore, diehard fan, I'm invested in what those two do tomorrow. I'm heavily invested in the Owen tournaments. I'm mad almost at myself as a friend for not being invested in Max's match, because like I just don't give a shit about the 10-man clusterfuck. Like I really don't care. And that's not anything against anybody in the match. I'm just okay. Like it's gonna be a train wreck. I'd rather see him have a world title match and be the best fucking wrestler in the world that I know he is. So this train wreck of people, like they can say that for somebody else. You know what I mean? And the fact that him and Okada's first time in the ring together is as partners in a train wreck match pisses me off. Like it legitimately makes me upset. So with that, the fact that we're not getting the best wrestler on the planet and one of the greatest of all time on opposite sides, or even some sort of less crazy match. I'm looking forward to the wrestling of Swerve and Ospreay, of Omega and Zack Sabre Jr., of the women's final, of all of the other matches. They're going to put on a great wrestling show. That's what AEW does. The talking points are going to be if Mercedes loses, if Will doesn't win. As a fan, I want to see Kenny Omega go out there and go, I am still fucking Kenny Omega. That's what I want to see tomorrow. That'll be my talking point Monday morning. Is if Kenny Omega can go out there and prove that he's still fucking Kenny Omega against Zack Sabre Jr., who has become an even better Zack Sabre Jr. with each passing year. That dude could wrestle my ass and carry me to a Meltzer popper. Okay? He's amazing.
Wow, that's really high praise.
Zack Sabre Jr. could get Yoshihiko inducted in the Hall of Fame.
This is valid as fuck.
If you know, you know, folks.
You do. You do. And if you don't know, we ain't got time to educate you. Noah's leaving soon. Just saying.
Zack Sabre Jr. could get Chavo's wooden horse Pepe inducted in the Hall of Fame.
He could get Chavo's horse Pepe unshredded before the induction. That's a deep ass cut. God damn it. Anyway.
Speaking of shredding, he could get Pepper inducted.
Oh, I just got sick. Oh, God. Oh, man.
The tasty beverage, Jeff.
We definitely don't talk about that.
We don't talk about Pepper, nor does Al. Anyway, the talking points are going to be what they're going to be. So for me, other than those, I am fucking here for Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. If I can find a way to get access to the show beyond the commentary I'm helping out on, I am sat for that match. I know it's seated. I don't give a fuck. I'm not the hip cool kid. I will be flat on my ass in a chair.
Fair enough. Charles, we'll go to you next, and then we'll let Walter bring it home.
Gotta leave it to me, huh? Love it. Okay. The talking points is definitely, to Jeff's point, it is the finals of the only tournament matches. Because I would be very going, what on earth are they going to do now if Will Ospreay does not win the men's tournament? Because, at that point, they're going to do a multi-person match at freaking all in, or redemption. Some has a redemption. But outside of that, that's the only two talking points I could think of. I agree with for the weekend. Whatever happens in those matches. And that's why I cannot wait for the Kenny and Zack Sabre Jr. match. Just because it's going to be probably, it's going to be the most passionate insanity, no pun intended, when I say that. Actually, no, that was pun intended because Ash was right here next to me.
I was about to say.
So there you go. That was pun intended for you. But outside that, yeah. I guess that's all I'm going to say on the matter. Move on to Walter now.
Go ahead, Walter.
If I'm being honest, I don't think they need that one moment. You don't have to try to compete with WWE. Just do what you do best because you put on the best pay-per-views. Just go out and do what you got to do. Saying that, because the biggest thing that they could do is physically impossible because all these people still have 90 days. But if those 90 days was up and you debut like a New Day or you debut, then boom, you might overlap Sammy because you're going to be talking about, holy shit, these people are elite now. But you can't do that because the 90 days ain't up. So just go out there and the only thing I think of, honestly, if you really want to do some crazy, if Will won the tournament and instead of waiting to All In, you call the same night and you make MJF defend it on this same night, the night instead of being part of that 6-man, and then you have Will Ospreay beat MJF for the title. That'll be the only thing that that might get more views than Sammy's win. But I don't think as a company you need to compare it. Just go do what you do because they know how to put on pay-per-views. I'm looking forward to the whole card. I think Osprey is gonna win. It's kind of like obvious, and I don't think Tony's gonna pull the rug from that momentum because otherwise, what's the story gonna be? Like, does he snap and go after the Death Riders? I don't think you want to do that. Maybe the holy crap, I didn't see that coming is having Bandito beat John Moxley. Maybe that, but I don't think you need to compare and necessarily have to try to overtalk them or have a bigger talking point. Because if you do it right and you do it as the whole pay-per-view, people will talk about your AEW loyalists are going to talk about this pay-per-view. The WWE loyalists are going to talk about Sami Zayn. So either way, it is what it is.
Go ahead, Nick. I see you have your hand up.
I just kind of going off of what Walter said. I pitched it on Simply Predicting. You know, you could have a scenario where it's just, you know, and I think I have to go back and watch the promo from Collision. But if I'm paraphrasing it correctly, John was talking about Will having to pull the trigger. Well, what if Will can't pull the trigger? Because that's not him. And you can take that story and take it to redemption, and it could be, can Will pull the trigger? And the only way he'd have to pull the trigger, and it would kind of bring everything back together, is if he pulled the trigger on John. And then you have John saying, you are ready. Because you had to do what you had to do. And then from Redemption to All In, you have Will trying to find his way into the main event. He has to do these hurdles. You know? You can really... I've always said it. And we, you know, again, trying to bring them, and I'm not trying to bring them up, but we talked on the Royal Prestige interview. When you get your first, that's the most memorable. When you get your first. This will be, if Will wins it at All In, this will be his first world championship in AEW. Right? You have to make it as memorable as you possibly can. Just like Bryan Danielson's was memorable as shit when he won it at All In. You know? So having, and you know, I'm not trying to compare the two, but how many people have complained and bitched and moaned that Cody Rhodes had to finish his story and there was no adversity in it? How many times you heard that? Where was the adversity? Where was what trials and tribulations did he have to go through to get his his WWE championship?
Getting the
Right.
shit kicked out of him by the final boss outside his bus in the rain.
But you know, you had that section of fans, is what I'm trying to say, who wanted a little bit more adversity, who wanted them to tell us, like, put more roadblocks in his way. Well, this is the same thing. Don't just hand it to Will. Give us, I've said it repeatedly, I want Tony in 2026 to have fun with his booking. Well, this could be something fun. Give us a storyline. Don't just hand it to Will, because then it's not good. Yeah, he's going to win it, but you just hand it to him on a silver platter. Let the guy work for it. You know Will can. He talks about, you know, being the hardest worker in the company. He always, whenever he has to, he always in promos, you know, I have to fly there and back so many times. He always talks about how much he has to sacrifice. Dude, in his promo in Houston, where he's like, I banged my missus and then I flew all the way to Houston because she knows I love this shit. You know what I mean? You've told us how much and how dire this championship means to you, give us some obstacles in the way. And what bigger obstacle is there than him losing the Owen and trying to find his way into the main event of All In? And then you do. I don't mind it being Swerve versus Will versus Kenny. If Kenny is the rumored, if it's not Max, right? You know what I mean? Like the rumors are true and it's not Max and it's Kenny, right? And then who knows? Maybe at Full Gear you can run it. You can do a singles match with those guys. Like I said, I just want, don't hand it to Will. Make him work for it. Make him come from behind. Make him the underdog in this story to where we're all rooting for him. Not just, okay, he won it. Definitely going to win it at all. Him winning it at Forbidden Door does not make me want to watch weekly episodic television of AEW. I could just wait till All In and be like, okay, he's winning it. We're good. Give us weeks of television. Give us weeks of build. Give us that adversity that we sit there. Because I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure if they give us this adversity and they give us this television where they're telling a great story with it, partnered with the amazing in-ring work that we know these guys can produce, you'd have guys like Noah, and not to call Noah out, but guys who, like he said, I don't care. They're going to put on a great pay-per-view. That's what I'm here for, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm explaining it correctly, like I'm trying to.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got what you were saying 5 minutes ago. No offense.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah. Little long-winded there, bro. But,
Sorry.
It is what it is.
You get my point. Adversity, good.
No, I get
Keep
you,
going.
but at the same time, and this is another point that Mr. New York brought up, when something is there, you need to pull the trigger. And you need to stop waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, because then when you finally do pull the trigger, no one cares. I think we're at the point where if they finally pulled the trigger on LA Knight, nobody would give a shit, except for maybe Jeff and I, because they fucked him over so many times. Will hasn't been in AEW that long officially. You're going to your WrestleMania in his home. And Tony is a sucker for those moments. WWE may be the moment company, but he's a sucker for giving those hometown people those moments. So it's kind of the thing where if Will doesn't win in All In, is anybody going to finally care when they do pull the trigger? Because they didn't do it. That's the other side of the argument there. Well, if your phone's about to die, Nick, why don't you go onto your laptop? Just saying.
Oh, good grief. People just don't friggin' prepare.
Right?
Again, you look at both sides of the wrestling community. There's those that are like, Matt Striker, shut up, that's what's happening. Just enjoy the ride and see what happens. Hopefully they don't F it up. And then there's the other half that want to see something as cinematic as reality television. I am definitely of the sooner, and all I know is what Walter said. My brother, yes, let's freaking go. Let's just go into this show and have a freaking good time and go from there.
You look like you were going to say something, Jeff?
Well, I honestly forgot just something about the Nick and the phone thing, but it was more of a haha. And once I didn't get it out right away, it went away. okay.
All right. Well, that's pretty much everything I was going to talk about tonight. Walter did send me a cool little talking point in private message. So since it's so early, I will do it like this. If y'all are down for one more talking point, we'll run the trailer and come back and do one more talking point. If y'all want to wrap things up for the evening, we can save that talking point for next week and pray it's a slow news week.
Well, I wanted to talk about the 50th anniversary or something if we can get to it, but
we can definitely do that real quick, especially considering the fact that you and I were there for it.
Right. But if there's a specific topic that Walter sent you, I'm down to go. I know Noah's looking to dip, so.
Well, yeah, Noah's given us those extra 10 minutes back, probably because we were having good conversation. But
yes,
either that or just because he was so focused on what he was doing.
I would love Noah's opinion on what I introduced you guys.
Okay. Well, I saw
That'd be
Charles
cool
had
if he
his
does
hand
it.
up. Go ahead, Charles.
I was gonna say, because I brought up the Owen thing. Jeff, didn't you say earlier during the coverage you want to talk about the Bret Hart thing?
Oh, I did want to talk about that, but that's very, very negative, and I didn't want to end the show on a negative note. So if it would be brought it up, I mean, if we're not going to end the show on this, we're going to move on to the next topic. I just want to say I was just befuddled at Bret going out there on whatever interview he did. I don't even know how recent it was, calling Martha out for her bitterness toward the business, bitterness toward the fans, bitterness toward, everything has to do with wrestling. And I'm going, dude, how much pottier do you want to get, Kettle? Fuck me, man. Like, Bret needs to do what I have encouraged a lot of us and what Noah has driven home to us many years. Put the social media device fucking down just for a day and just not engage in it. I want so bad, and there's some Canadians in this room and in the green room, and I'm going to be nice. He should be remembered as one of the greatest all-around performers of all time. But every single fucking time we see him post Hall of Fame induction in 2006 just makes my brain bleed. And it shouldn't have to be that way. He and I are simpatico. We don't like the Bill Goldberg. But instead, I'm just angry at him for just shitting on everything else every single time he opens his mouth. The fact that any company is being allowed to preserve and honor the legacy of his brother, just shut the front door and enjoy it, dude. And I get it. There can be nothing that fills that hole in your quote-unquote heart. Ha, ha, ha. It's a pun. It's his name. About everything that has happened in your career and your life since that fateful day in 1997. But you can choose to be above it or better than it and not engage in only the negative side of things. Engage in the fact that your niece is still the most prolific female performer in WWE history, still setting records and still ensuring the future of the business with her and TJ and what they're doing in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
I will forever praise Bret, praise Owen and Jim and Davey and that family for what they did in the ring. I will further push Natty and TJ for the ability to preserve the future of the business and not giving into what could be a very easy temptation to just say fuck it. Tomorrow, Owen will be honored by whoever wins the women's tournament, whoever wins the men's tournament. I would love to think that Bret can just be okay with that and not focus on this eternal battle between him and Martha, or between him and the industry, or between Martha and the industry. Tomorrow's going to be a beautiful show. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a great pay-per-view. AEW delivers. I'm not like setting myself up for failure saying that. AEW is going to deliver. It's fucking AEW on paper. But I'd like to hope that Brett will just one day get over it. I hope for that for him. I really do. I'm very hard on him a lot on social when he posts, and I don't tweet a lot anymore because I can't help my fucking self. But when I have a platform like it's like, you know what? I want to say something, and if it gets me heat with my friend Natty, I'll make it right. But it just chaps my ass sometimes. It just does. Anyway.
All right.
Sorry.
So now that Jeff has had his therapy session, we'll run our trailer, come back, and we'll discuss this Walter introduced topic. We will be right back.
And now for a taste of things to come.
This is about students that trailer truly encompasses. We embrace, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, watch, line, react to all the wrestling.
There we go. And again, to the 114 of y'all that are tuned in right now, we thank you. We are the Simply Reliable Studios, and just that's a taste of some of the offerings that we have here across our branded channels. You know, I know a lot of you right now are watching on the Aaron Rift channels, whether it's on X or YouTube. Make sure you go through and you subscribe to all of us. You know, we'll hit you up with the links again at the end of the show, but subscribe to N Foster 1916 on YouTube. Subscribe to Rage of Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to Rangers of Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to Batty for Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to the Casa D18 Studios on YouTube. As some of the stuff that you saw in that trailer won't be featured on the Aaron Rift branded channels. So you want to make sure you're following and subscribe to us at our other pages so that you can get all the wrestling, as Noah Foster put it. With that being said, Walter messaged me a few different graphics. And it looks like he sent me another photo, god damn it. Like, the hell, man? And the shit's small as hell, too. Like, damn, I can barely even see one of them, bro. But let's just leave it the 4 you sent me, okay?
Right, 620 by 480. Forgot to
Jesus.
maximize it or render the resolution. These are things that you do, of course, in a photo editing thing or Microsoft Word if you don't have like Adobe Photoshop. But again, that's just IT talk.
I love you, Walter. I'm not trying to bust your balls too much, but this is why Jeff and I are the guys that do the graphics. I'm just saying.
Or me
What-
and my little trick.
So we'll let Walter introduce the topic because he's the one that brought it to me, and then I'll start running through the graphics here. Go ahead, Walter.
So I sent him 4 different graphics of people winning the first time that they won the main title of said company that they won it in. And I said, which one do you think is either the more momentous occasion in terms of the wrestling industry or just your personal most emotional one?
And the 4 options he gave me were the boyhood dream coming true for Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley on Raw, Darby Allin, and then today, Sami Zayn. And then I'm not going to share the images that he just sent me because, like I said, they're so tiny and everything. But then he also threw in at the last minute Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30 and Kofi Kingston. So add those 2 to the mix as well. Like I said, I'm just not going to bring those images up. Yes, Jeff.
What is the actual question?
What do you personally feel was either the more impactful one towards the wrestling company or just your personal emotional one? You can go either or both.
Sorry to put you off, but can I make a correction on the Bryan Danielson front?
I know that's not the first time he won the world heavyweight title. The first time, I know.
Sorry, I can't here, but that was a good moment too. By the way, and what
No,
it
I
went
know.
to. But yes, WrestleMania 30 is the bigger moment, obviously. So yeah, I get why you went there instead.
A miracle on Bourbon Street.
Hey, SummerSlam 2013, Money in the Bank screw up or not, for me. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
But we'll go to
Considering
Noah.
what the match was, I mean, I'm on Jeff with that one because that match proved John Cena could actually wrestle almost with Japanese strong style. Damn it. That match was
I will
so
say
damn
this for that match. When I watched it, when Brian got cashed in, when Brian cashed in, this is what I did. I got my pencil in my hand. I'm like, fuck this company.
I was waiting to host an after party at the Hooters down the street. I had to get calmed down by some staff members. Not pretty.
I went off. I said, F Randy Orton, F Triple H, F this company, F this pay-per-view, F everything.
Look,
I heart applause you.
Look, I am a Randy Orton shooter. Have been since 2002. Even I said fuck Randy Orton in that minute.
And then
You were
I
there,
ended up coming down, and then I said, okay, let's see how this plays out. Those were my exact words. I shit you not. I'm like, okay, calm down.
We're on overtime with Noah, so let's let Noah go first to be able to get
sorry.
You're talking about Brian Danielson, so you also garnered a little bit more of my interest, considering I've been a fan of him since Ring of Honor, and he also faced Zack Sabre Jr., of course, once upon a time, so you know what? It's all good right now. You have my full attention.
So good. Sorry.
Agree. Go watch the one in Osaka. Again, agree. And Wrestle Dream.
Watch
Anyway.
both. No, you watch both. You watch Wrestle Dream and Osaka.
Do you know who you're talking to, young bat?
Not you, the people watching.
All right, fair enough.
115, Noah. Jesus.
Hello, Aaron Bliss.
I love her
This is
passion.
what you're going to get out of me on Shenanigans.
And I expect the same thing out of you when we call for Vinny tomorrow night. But nonetheless, to the probably blinder of an audience that might actually realize there's more to wrestling than yes, folks, it's real. It's damn real. Anyway, Walter, your conversation. Personal emotional impact or industry impact. Let's see. The Boyhood dream has come true. I mean, again, there's a reason why Shawn Michaels is garnered one of my all-time favorite professional wrestlers / entertainers of all time in this business. Whenever people talk to me about wrestling, the first name I bring forward is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania, Pyramid, still should win at 25, and I will die on that mountain. Double period. But yeah, Mick Foley, before I knew the whole thing about 83 weeks, the war, it felt interesting. But did I think that it was something major overall? It felt like one of those things where it's like, okay, that happened. What are we doing next? Oh, all right. And then we look towards Daniel Bryan. Jeff, forever, SummerSlam. But 30 was a cool thing. It told a story for the night, the start and the end, and freaking overkill. But it is what it is when you're trying to literally foretell somebody that was always rated as a B-plus player that could be the face of the business, basically Triple H being the new modern-day Vince McMahon at the time, and a crooked referee not named Earl Hebner, although he was always a bit controversial, with that crook Scott Armstrong, whole different conversation. But I enjoyed what 30 did with that to a degree, I'm not going to lie. And then I saw the aftermath. But that's a whole different conversation. Now, you go all the way forward to Kofi Mania. I say what I say. The biggest moment of the night was the inspiration, the Iconics, which I was the only one that called, by the way, so left the entire No DQ family and galaxy for thinking I was crazy. That they won the Women's Tag Team Championship, the only legitimate women's tag team in the wrestling business and WWE at that time. Still to this day, more bigger to me than Kofi Mania, and they screwed both things up. They just screwed up the women even more. Then again, they've always done that. As far as, let's see, the other one, Darby Allin. Darby Allin is very interesting because I keep calling Darby Allin AEW's icon, much like Sting was WCW's icon. And here is Sting passing off the proverbial torch to Darby Allin, who's lived and died 6 or 7 times to live in the moment and literally lives life on the edge of a lightning bolt every day because he wants to see what he can do now versus what may not come later. I think Darby Allin, for especially me that's followed AEW since day -1, when it was a fever dream, thanks to All In, when I was looking for something different in the business that wasn't the Fed and Ring of Honor and New Japan had me on by a thread, but thank God so I can go to NXT at the time. I think Darby Allin was really cool and really special when he was also endorsed by not only the past, but the present and the future, as everyone gathered at that time. And then the run of his life, the ride of our lives, where he defended it against so many different opponents through violent, passionate, differently defined demeanors. It was really cool. And I think about, again, emotional impact versus the industry. I'm not one that looks at the profit, the money, the figures, or the ratings. I look at what happens right at that time and what follows. And what Darby Allin did, no one's ever done in the professional wrestling business, damn it. So Darby Allin right now, just maybe recently biased, definitely sticks out for me. But Bryan Danielson winning at All In is probably a close second, considering how special that was in front of his family and his kids. And the American Dragon being a world champion one more time. Fuck yes, that's professional wrestling, damn it. So, emotional, biggest impact, it's going to be, as a kid, Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels is my all-time favorite. In the modern day, it's Darby Allin or Bryan Danielson. As far as industry, when the Heartbreak Kid sent Marty Jannetty through that barbershop window went into business for himself, he redefined what it meant to be a top-tier star in this business before he got the moniker Mr. WrestleMania that followed him for the entirety of his career, all the way to retirement. So, industry, Shawn Michaels, personal, toss between Bryan Danielson et al. And Darby Allin winning the AEW World Championship and the run that came from it. Based on your list. Now, let's see what they do with Sami Zayn, because, yeah, that's the biggest WTF since Jesse James beat Stone Valkyrie for the NXT Women's Championship. But the fact that he did in front of his culture, in where he could be as mean of a bastard here and as whiny as a ginger as he wants, but he's almost pretty much worshipped more than the freaking prince over there. I think that's a once-in-a-lifetime thing that Sami's going to never feel again. And I think that's going to be a lasting impact, not just for anyone that's been a fan of a generic in a bygone life or Sami Zayn, but anyone that's been a fan of this business. That stands out on its own for the testament of time, in my opinion. And with that, I bid you all fun adieu, as I will see you for the vendor call for AEW, but I have more important things to do with my spirit. So, in typical Kinematic fashion, you all are wonderful, you all are crazy, but take care of your families, just your life and enjoy wrestling. Goodbye and good night. Back.
Sleep well, brother Foster. Sleep well. GJ, you are muted, by the way. I don't know if you're aware.
And then there were 5.
There we go.
Ash, we'll go to you next. I would have gone ladies first for the topic, but Noah did need to get out of here, so.
Yeah.
So for the whole Darby Allen one, I can't really comment on because I haven't watched any of the reigns because I wasn't watching Dynamite. All I can just go off is from what my friends were saying, and go off of what my friends were saying about his title run. The Shawn Michaels one, I cannot say anything about that because I did not watch that. Go figure. I do know of its importance, though, and how that match was important about how it catapulted Shawn Michaels into stardom and also the creation of the first ever Iron Man match. So I get its historical the reference there. The Mankind one, I'm not sure. See, this was very tricky for me because I can't remember if I watched it or not because my memory of because certain childhood memories of mine are like a little cloudy, foggy, whatever it is. So I was like, I could be misremembering, or because there are certain things where I can't recall if I watched it or not, and can't remember properly if I've seen that title reign or not, or like that title win.
To be fair, the whole night was a fever dream, depending on what side of the war you were on.
True. I mean, it also doesn't help when you were like, for ADD, you're hooked on Ritalin, so.
Yeah. 99 was a rough year for ADD in general, not just wrestling.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It pretty much was the night WWE took the award back, pretty much, because WCW screwed it by mentioning what was happening, and they flipped the channels.
The thing is, WCW hadn't won a battle since the night after Halloween Havoc, and they only won that because they showed the world title match for free because they fucked up on the pay-per-view. But, yeah, that night they had the chance. They had the promised, not delivered, Goldberg-Nash rematch. And then they finger-poked the doom out of them fuck themselves, and there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Sammy winning is pretty cool. I can't judge it right now because I want to see how the reign goes first, like how it plays out. But the whole Brian talk we were talking about, oh my god, it's like that in itself is just so amazing because like from my whole crash out to letting it play out, and I'm so glad I did because I would have missed a really good ass moment. Like, I remember when Brian won at WrestleMania 30, I dropped to my knees and I screamed, yes, 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 so loud that I almost woke up my dad because he was having a nap. The poor guy was so tired from working, he fell asleep watching WrestleMania with us. Like, let me tell you, this WrestleMania 30 in itself, oh my god, you want to talk about roller coasters of emotions? Damn, that show in itself was a roller coaster of emotions that I have not felt since who knows when. Also, I just want to throw out there too, because of course I'm going to. Oh my god, can we talk about Kenny Omega winning the IWGP Heavyweight title? Like, oh my god, that was a big moment for myself because I stayed up until 8 a.m. watching that, and I'm watching the match, and I'm trying so hard not to be so loud because I had my own apartment at the time with my brother. My mom spent the night. She was sleeping on the couch, and I was trying so hard not to wake up, like be so loud that I accidentally wake her up because she had no idea what the fuck New Japan was at the time. And I did not want to have to explain that to her. So yeah, that was fun, especially because that was my introduction. Because that's when I was first getting into New Japan Pro Wrestling. Because it felt good because I felt like I was represented. It's like, here's this dude, this freaking dorky, nerdy ass fucking dude from my city, making something out of himself, going through some similar stuff that I was going through with like friendship drama and trying to figure himself. Hell, I'm still figuring myself out. So it's just, it felt really good seeing like someone from my city go out there and make something of themselves.
can get down with that. I have to keep remembering I'm muted because I'm working on something on the other tab while everyone is talking. So
You're good.
go ahead, Charles.
Well, I will say one. I did not see that Michaels winning the title moment until like a rant after like a hype package feature that in like 2004 or 5. Because I wasn't, a lie, to be honest. Then, but I knew the importance of that. And I was just 1 year old when Mick Foley won the title.
Pardon the other guys in this room as we crack our necks and stretch our backs back out and dye our hair back from gray. You fucker. Anyway, carry on.
Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, Jay. Sorry. Look, I have to be honest here. Come on.
No, you're good. No,
I have to be honest.
Walter, I never forget how young everybody else in the room is, or in the chat room. I suck. Ugh.
You're good, man. You're good. So at least the one I will say, I did enjoy Brian win the title at 30 because I needed that was needed a feel good moment after, because that night at 30 was awesome. Even though I was the only person on a watch party I was in, picked Brock Lesnar to beat The Undertaker. And I wish I didn't in hindsight because that did not go as planned. I was not thinking straight that night. But outside of that, and then obviously Darby won the title. And then Sammy tonight, or yesterday, in my case. My brain's stumped. But overall, Brian win the title for is my personal number one for me. So I get to
Meacham.
This is hard for me because I'm not the oldest guy in the room, but I'm the oldest wrestling fan in the room. You know what I mean? Like I've been watching long. But Walter, when did you start watching?
Let's see. Like 4 years old, so like 86.
Oh, okay. So you've been watching longer than me. I take that back.
Yeah.
Okay.
85.
Okay. Okay. So impact on the business wise, I have to go with Mick Foley. Like, and it's horrible the reason it impacted on the business so much because it was WWE's opportunity and they just spoke their downfall into existence. So kind of was what it was. Personally, emotionally impactful, like all of them except Shawn. And it wasn't that I wasn't a Shawn Michaels fan. I just, in 1996, I was WCW guy. Even before the NWO started, I was more of a WCW fan than a WWF fan at that point. But Mick winning it was super cool. Like I said about Brian, him winning it at SummerSlam, even though it was brief, was amazing. The moment at 30 was what it was, but had he not gotten hurt, it could have been a different story. And then him winning it all in with the Final Countdown song, with Brie and the kids at ringside, just fucking wrecks me every single time now. I can't watch it without because that's my friend and she's my friend and it's a thing. Being home and watching WrestleMania 35 and I'll be a dickhead here. Sorry, Ash. Being able to call my son in and have him watch Kofi's win with me, knowing that his mother was going to lose her goddamn mind because I was letting him watch wrestling. It's like, no, this is his favorite. Fuck all the way off for about 5 minutes for me. Had I not been there in person for the end of the reign and the way the reign ended, probably be a lot more emotional on me. You know what I mean? Watching that happen was more emotional negatively than it was in watching him win it on TV. That thing with Brock still chaps my ass. I'm going to piss off every AEW fan right now, but I really don't care. Darby winning it, I could not have given less of a fuck. I'm sorry. And yes, Max is my friend, biased as fuck, but I just, it was great for the Darby Allin fans. It was great for the fans of his story and his family and his people. I just did not give a single solitary fuck that it happened. And I was glad when it ended and Max got the title back. Today's win's different for Sammy. Sammy winning is going to sit with me for a minute. Not as much as him and Kevin winning the tag titles, but I was there in person. Again, that's a personal bias. So for me, impact on the business, I think it's Mick because of that point in time that really drove the final stake through the heart of WCW as far as viewership and ratings and everything. And just the last 2 years, just kind of treading on thin ice. Emotionally impactful. If I have to pick one, it's going to be Bryan, but not at WrestleMania. It was All In and SummerSlam 2013. All In more so because of Brie and the kids being there. And just the whole thing, the music was there. I'll never, ever forget watching the watch along and having JJ positively crash out over Final Countdown being used in Forbidden Door during that time period also. So the fact that he came out to that song again to win the world title over an amazing competitor like Swerve in front of all those people in that stadium and having Brie and the kids there and having the BCC there briefly before they went batshit on them. I think because none of us ever thought Bryan would get there again. Fuck, I'm getting emotional again now. Jesus Christ. I still get very weepy every time I watch or think about Bryan winning it all in. So there you go. There's your answer. Right, it's happening right now in front of you. It's Bryan it all in. There you go.
I want to point out this weird theme that we had when we were talking about these title reigns, with a couple exceptions. I've noticed the theme was the moment of them winning the title was amazing, but the runs themselves and how they ended left to be a little bit more desired.
No, the only one that didn't leave a shitty taste in our mouths was Mick, and that's because him and Rock were just so gold every single fucking time they touched in '99. So, and we all, even looking back, we all knew it was a means to an end. It was going to be Rock and Austin. That's what we were going to get.
Hence why I said with a couple of exceptions.
Right. But yeah, you're right. Shawn winning in '96, he had a terrible run through no fault of his own. 96 was just not the WWF year. It just wasn't. Even with Austin becoming King of the Ring and having the whole, Austin 316 moment. But yeah, Bryan's run ending the way it did every time was rough. And Kofi, God, dude, I want so bad to just get a DeLorean and pluck me and Aaron out of that Staples Center and going, nope, we're not watching this live. Thank you. This is fucked up. Not a fan.
Change the space-time, change the whole timeline.
I would change the timeline because it was what it was. I just don't want Aaron and I to be watching it live because I was furious. I need the kind of negativity on my system. Oh, I was so.
I will say this real quick. Yeah, the follow-up with Bryan did suck, but that will be. And again, if Bryan would have faced a certain someone as a year SummerSlam 2014,
okay. So Bryan not being champion meant I sat through watching one of my good friends, longtime friends in the business, getting fucking thrown around my home arena. So I'm not okay with that either.
I was saying,
so crash out of that shit.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that front because of the way we're building up. If if Bryan didn't have to vacate the title, it makes you wonder, would they had him lose to Lesnar?
I think
And,
they
and it be the same way they did with your dear friend of yours with the 16 suplexes.
So
But it's been the same way.
here's my thing there, though. If they do that to Brian in front of me, I think I'm worse. Like, I think I'm worse off mood-wise. I probably would end up in the freaking med bay there at Staples Center if they did that to Brian. Jesus Christ. But again, we'll never know. But I think the ultimate endgame was Lesnar coming out of SummerSlam as the champion. I think that was the predestined nature of where creative was going with that.
Yeah, that was the end game, regardless of who was champion.
The fact that he took the streak from us, it was like, okay, like John has said that in the interviews leading up to his retirement. Where do you take Brock Lesnar from taking the fucking streak? You make him the champion.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only step. It's the only logical step left.
Yeah,
that one. If we're talking about how emotionally it impacted me, whoever Lesnar destroys at SummerSlam 2014, nothing tops that for me. Nothing. I don't think negatively will ever top that as a wrestling fan watching a title change. So violent and destructive and one-sided. It was I am now 12 years later uncomfortable talking about it, let alone watching it live. It was ugly.
Well, we felt scared for you when you had to be the one to be a solo man for the Brock and Cena match at WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, I was on with I was still on the calls at that point. I was very mad at having to take the booking for that. We were short staffed. It was what it was. I had to be there, and it was not pleasant. But you know what? Part of being a team, part of being this much heralded founder of the feast, you gotta suck it up sometimes.
And also, of course, Manuel's the one that says that in the freaking chat.
It's okay. I know Manuel doesn't like Charlotte. I know Manuel doesn't like John, and that's fine.
Say it's in the greatest pay-per-view ever when Cena got destroyed.
It's just as fine as the Oilers finally getting knocked out of the first round of the playoffs this year. That's okay too. Did too. I understand that. I don't give a fuck. I'm being
my grandma will agree with you because my grandma goes on rants about how Connor McDavid is like one of the most overrated hockey players ever.
So okay, I know we're trying to stay on topic that Walter presented. Connor's fucking amazing. He's an amazing hockey player. He just has the wrong colors on.
Yeah.
I have no room in this conversation.
If him and Draisaitl are wearing any other jerseys, I got nothing bad to say about those boys. Not a damn. They're just in fucking Edmonton. So
fair play. Fair play.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Walter. I didn't mean to hijack your thread with Stanley Cup playoff talk. I apologize. Especially in North Carolina where the Stanley Cup don't exist.
I was going to say, Walter needs to hire Danhausen and give him some human money so that the Sharks can win something.
That's a good idea. That fucking happening.
Teeth or human monies?
Yes, keeping him based on San Jose winning the Stanley Cup. It's not fucking worth it, I promise.
Maybe help. Never mind.
Hey, let the Kings have the NBA title. I'm okay talking about the Kings winning the NBA title. I'm okay with that.
You know what? Because in Danhausen is a fellow Michigan person, I should probably ask him to. Never mind. Now I'm getting to that. Got the teams now. Here we go.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, sorry.
God damn it.
I know.
What am I going to do with you guys?
Bring it back when I can in a couple weeks.
JJ, you always like to instigate the madness too. Come on now.
This is accurate. I'm usually an instigator.
JJ is very much Heath Ledger's Joker. Do I look like a guy that's got a plan? I just do things.
This is also accurate.
Yeah.
And we love you for it.
I drive Noah insane.
Well, that too.
Poor Noah. There's a lot of title reigns. that I could talk about if we have the time for our very first title runs that made me go, "Oh my god, this is why I love pro wrestling."
And Jay, I know you're trying to move on. Emmanuel, no. We are collectively agreed earlier in the day to get Danhausen to uncurse the Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs need to win the Stanley Cup for Canada. Them motherfuckers
Right.
ain't won in over 60 years.
Yeah, exactly. Since my dad was 6.
They have not been a Stanley Cup champion since the Kings became a thing. So yeah, if we're gonna put human monies for Danhausen to uncurse Canada for the cup, it's the fucking Leafs.
It's the Leafs. Yeah, there's a reason why my dad's originally from Toronto.
There you go.
And I so badly want to get him a shirt that says about the Leafs becoming Stanley Cup champions at least once before I die.
What's so sad is I saw a post a week ago. Every so often they change the rings out of the Stanley Cup so it can like stay, the current dimensions it always is.
Yeah.
The next time they change the ring, the Leafs will no longer be on the Stanley Cup. It's like, fuck, that's how long it's been.
That's
so sad.
Can you imagine if he did that though, and they won, and it's like he did it to the Knicks the longer, 53 years, and then did it to Toronto 60-something years? That'd be fucking nuts.
If they have Danhausen uncurse the Leafs, I'm saying it now at 2 hours, 36 minutes, and 28 seconds into this show at 10:37 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday, June 27th, I will buy Danhausen's every piece of merch on WWE Shop if the Leafs are uncursed and win the Stanley Cup.
Damn.
What about all the merch in our spring store? Will you buy all that?
Sure. I'll do
because
that.
now on the spring store.
Dude, do you have a SRS logo shirt?
Actually, we do.
Okay, I need that. That's what I need in my life.
We also have one for Christmas.
No, okay. Well, there you go. There's 2 guaranteed buys right there: the logo shirt and the Christmas shirt. I am buying those for sure. It is 62 degrees. We're in JJ's. There you go. Good to know.
I gotta get rid of it.
And it's
Probably
still hot
annoying
as
as
fuck,
heat.
even gross.
I was thinking about spending my next paycheck money on an AEW shirt. Screw that. I'm getting myself a Nyla Blade Tekka shirt.
As well you should.
That's right.
And the I Speak Typo shirt too. I'm getting myself one of those because I saw that and I laughed so hard. I was like, yes.
Typo is one of my favorite things that's come out of these channels.
I love how it's an inside joke, but if you watch our show, you're in on the joke, which is amazing.
Yes. If you walk out and people see Speak Typo, it's like, what the fuck? But we know. It's okay.
If you know, you know.
And if
Basically.
you don't know, now you know.
And if you don't, watch the show.
Well, if you don't know, now you do, and knowing's half the battle. So. Okay, poor Walter.
Damn it, Ash!
I don't
Damn it!
on his own topic yet.
You got me. Got me.
Not only has Walter not speaken on the topic, neither have I.
That's what I'm saying. The moderator and topic introductee is not spoken. So we're gonna stop talking about hockey now because I don't have to give a fuck about hockey right now because the Kings are no longer on my budget docket. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'll move right along.
But God damn it. Because you had to go and bring it all up, I went and got the other shirts up so that I could show these things. So there's the logo shirt.
Oh, I like that.
Then there's a Halloween design.
Ooh, I like that one more.
Then there's the Christmas design.
I remember that logo. Yeah.
Then there's the Shenanigans shirt. There's the Emmanuel card shirt.
God damn it. That's tremendous.
And the I Speak Typo shirt, which is the only one that is sold so far.
Okay.
Oh, God.
And there's now the I Heart Bloody Techers shirt.
I love that.
And there's a We Want Mina shirt.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, the only thing with the two green shirts is I can't wear them if I'm at the home studio because the green screen would just rip
Well,
that shit
there's as with spring, you can choose which color shirt you want.
Oh, okay,
I have
good.
a couple of different options up there.
Okay, good.
And for the 124 of you watching, if you liked any of those, the link is in the description of the YouTube video.
Yes.
Go to the store, buy some shirts. Because we need human monies.
That's right. We need human monies to uncurse everything that we want to uncurse now.
So, in regards to Walter's topic, for me, the most emotional is a toss-up between Mick's and Sammy's. As far as the ones that were named off and given as options. And people are going to be like, oh, well, it's recency bias with Sammy. It's recency bias. No, I saw this motherfucker in a mask 21 years ago. I got to know the guy behind the mask before y'all knew what the fuck he looked like without one. Much like with Brian. You know, Mick, I give a nod to because he's that niche hardcore wrestler. He was that fat, out of shape guy that was always told no. You know, much in the same vein as what would become with Benoit, Eddie, and there's two more you definitely could have added to this fucking list, Walter. I'm a little bit disappointed in you. You didn't have Eddie.
That's valid, yeah.
You know, because that moment with the two of them embracing at WrestleMania 20 still fucking hits me in the feels every time.
Hell yeah.
You know, but those are two other guys that were always told you were never going to be the guy. Foley was never supposed to be the guy. And he played his job beautifully. And I come back to it all the time. And Sammy is going to be a Foley champion. He's going to be the guy that runs the ball for a few yards to get the first down so they can move the chains down the field and set up for the next big play. So everybody in the IWC that has an issue with Sammy as champion, calm your fucking tits. Seriously. It's going to be okay. Sammy's not going to be a Roman Reigns champion. At best, he'll hold it till SummerSlam. At best. If he holds it beyond SummerSlam, I will be shocked. As far as best for the business, I got to give it to Mick. Because Mick is what broke the 83-week streak. It's what it was. Mick was that game changer, to take a phrase from one of my favorite indie promotions. And, you know, maybe the streak had been ended beforehand, but regardless, it was that really kind of was the final nail in the WCW coffin, like was said. So that's my take on it. Walter, it was your topic. Bring it home.
All right. Now I witnessed all of them, not in person obviously, but I'm old enough to have witnessed all of them, been a fan long enough. So in terms of impactful for the business, I'm going with Sean even though Bret Hart had the title before him, obviously that's who he beat. I feel like after Shawn won it, Vince looked at things through a different lens and say, okay, maybe you don't have to be 6'6", 6'7", 303 pounds, jack, to be the head of my company. And I feel like the Benoits, the Eddie Guerreros, and all this, without Shawn getting the ball at that time he did, never would have been trusted to run the company because that looking too small thing was really a precedent of in the history of wrestling. People wanted it was the carnival app. People wanted to see these larger than life 6'7", 6'8" jack guys, your Psycho Sids, 7 feet tall, and they didn't really want to trust the smaller guys that can go. And I feel like that whole new generation era wouldn't have happened without Shawn doing this. However, we know what happened in 95, 96, 97. Before Attitude in 97, it wasn't the best in wrestling. So, but the only thing that hurts Mick was the whole fact that it was pre-taped. Even though, yeah, the whole Tony Schiavone made the biggest mistake of his life and saying, don't flip the channel because Mick Foley's going to win the title. That'll put some butts in the seats. And then everybody said, click, and change the channel. But, yeah. But in terms of emotional, with the story and everything, my kids aren't into wrestling. But damn if they didn't sit next to me and watch Kofi Kingston win that damn title. And for minority, especially for us being Puerto Rican and black and everything, the whole history of that, when I can't watch it to this day without crying. I can watch Shawn, and Shawn's one of my favorite. He's my number 2. Undertaker, I kind of, 1A I could say, because Undertaker, or 1A and 1B, because Undertaker and Shawn are just, sometimes I even flip-flop, but those were my 2 growing up, because I love Shawn even when he was part of the Rockers. I had his damn toy where you squeeze his legs and let it go, and he does the drop kick. I had all that. Like, I'm aging myself with that.
I remember that exact Hasbro figure. Jesus Christ. Wow.
I had all those. That's awesome. But, yeah, it's being a minority and the significance of Kofi just actually doing it. You talk about somebody they thought you would never, ever do it. Especially after what happened in 2009 with Randy Orton and the whole stupid thing. You didn't think he could put himself back up there. Especially people were like, oh, now he's just stuck in the tag team. He's stuck in this New Day and selling bootios and doing that. He's never going to be there. And it's the same thing with Sammy now. It's like, whoo. Yeah, I had those too. I had those pillows I had Ultimate Warrior. I was the Warrior guy. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't the Hogan guy. I was the Warrior guy. But I had Macho Man. I had all those pillow things.
Yeah, we had Macho King. We had Hogan. I think my brother had Warrior. I sure as fuck didn't. I think we even had DiBiase in that ugly green suit he had. Oh God, fucking hell. Yeah. I had the Hogan one until last year when we moved. I found it in the back corner of where I used to sleep, and the rain had seeped into the house and destroyed it. Like, just completely.
Oh, crap. I made my mom call this phone number and order the Shawn Michaels heart-shaped glasses before. I remember you used to have to call a phone number to order that stuff.
Yeah, I remember them plugging those on WWF TV and Shawn taking the glasses off the guy at ringside and putting them on himself real quick and then putting it back on the show guy. But yeah, I think throwing the Hogan buddy away hurt me more than actually moving out of the fucking house.
The worst thing I did, I think I told this story before, but I got my ass whooped. And my mother ended up blocking the 900 numbers because there was a 900 number you could call.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just Hogan talking. And I literally kept calling and kept calling and kept calling. And he only says like 4 different phrases.
Yep.
I ran up I think $1,000 fucking phone bill. My mom beat the living shit out of me with an extension cord, and so did my sister.
1-900-454 Hulk. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't get phone privileges, or I would have probably been in the same boat.
It's since that day. That was way back in like 93. The house number was always blocked. You couldn't dial 900 numbers anymore.
Nope.
Once you go to 900, why, Walter?
Yeah, I really aged myself. There is a phone number back in the day. I wish I could remember. You can call and it would spoil like things that were gonna happen. Like I remember if you called, it said that the clock was Jericho when it was running out. There was a actual phone number you can call, and it would spoil like 2 or 3 things.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't the WWF hotline.
Yeah.
It was somebody hotline. Call now.
Yeah,
What happened?
yeah.
Although,
It-
yeah,
it-
yeah. I
It
know
was
what
just
you're
like
talking
it was just it was just like a recording, and it would spoil a few things, and the shit was actually correct. So I don't know.
Yes.
Damn, the things we would do. There also was a phone number where you spell out the word weather, and it would tell you the weather. You see what we grew up with?
This is how we entertain ourselves, kids. If you're watching at home, this is how we entertain ourselves back in the 80s and 90s. We were dumb fucks, but we had fun, right?
I wish, I don't know what happened to it, but I had like I don't know like where it went, but I had one of those like Ultimate Warrior action figure where if you press down on its legs, it would make it look like as if he's shaking the ropes.
Yes, I remember those. Jesus, I never bought one. Like I said, I wasn't a Warrior guy. I remember that.
We know, Jeff.
I also had a King Kong Bundy action figure, but it had its like right hand chopped off. So
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember far back enough where one of the original Hasbro commercials had Jesse Ventura in it, and they had to reshoot it when he left the company, and that's when Piper did the first commercial for Hasbro.
I remember I used to have the Macho King one where like you twist the top of his body and it does a clothesline. Like when you let it go.
Yes, I still have the crown from that figure somewhere.
Damn memories.
This old man is past his bedtime. Y'all talking this shit.
We used to go to Kmart and Caldors and fucking buy all this. I really just aged myself. Damn.
Wow.
We had those like here in Canada too.
Kmart I know, but the other one I don't know. So
What'd you
that
say?
might have been a
Kmart?
Connecticut thing.
Yeah, Caldors. Yeah,
Caldors
it might have
I've
been
heard
an
of,
East good.
but
Yeah,
not-
and Bradley's and stuff. But
Yeah, it's definitely a back east thing, 100%.
You, if you're a Canadian and you want to age yourself, just talk about the store Zellers.
All righty. Well, good little side conversation, Walter. We do have one more topic that Jeff wanted to bring up, and we will get into that after one more commercial break.
All the shills.
Yes. Hey. Just took a moment to shill all those t-shirts, okay?
That's right. We did.
And now we're going to show the watch alongs.
And now for a taste of things to come.
All the wrestling, and yes, the showboat is still a thing.
It's fucking wild to me. Like I remember my dad going to the showboat back in the day when he went on vacation. Holy shit.
I've only
Sorry.
been in Atlantic City twice or once. Once, I think.
This is how much I was actually watching the trailer. I was like scrutinizing shit now. Anyway.
Yep, the showboat is basically the GCW home. Like that's
That's
their
awesome.
ECW Arena.
Okay. Wow. God. Yeah, the show has been there forever. Anyway.
That's where TOS, COS were. That's where Homecoming's going to be. That's their primary East Coast home. And then they do Homecoming LA because LA's become kind of like their second home. Like I think it was Tracy Lawrence song, now that my second home's become my first.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
Because they come out here like 5 times a year now. They were here in February.
Yep.
They were here in April. They're here tonight. They're going to do Homecoming LA, which will probably be September.
Yeah.
They'll be back here for December.
There you go.
LA is the only market they hit as much as Atlantic City.
Yeah. I got to get to at least one GCW show before I lose the ability to go do those shows, whatever that may be.
As long as finances aren't in the crapper, I plan on doing Homecoming.
Okay.
That was my debut at GCW last year. That was Frankie and Jordan Oliver. I intend to run it back this year.
And that's if Frankie survives tonight. Goddamn.
Well, I mean, it's not to say Frankie's going to be on that show, but I mean, if they're going to bring out a SoCal legend for that show, I wouldn't mind seeing some Angels wings.
You know,
I wouldn't mind seeing a Samoan submission machine.
You need either one of those guys out of those AEW offices. I will show the money for it. Hell yeah, dude.
So
anyway.
So Jeff wanted to talk about one other thing, and we kind of touched about it a little bit yesterday on Simply Predicting.
Yes.
And especially since it hasn't hit midnight here yet on the West Coast, it is still technically, for us anyway, 15 years ago today.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jeff.
15 years ago, as JJ and I think we were sitting by ourselves at that point because Mikey and Ray had gone back to the hotel, yeah? It sounds right to me in my head.
No, Ray was there. Mikey wasn't.
Mikey was at the hotel. Okay. So Statboy decided to go back to the hotel, much to his own chagrin, once he realized what the fuck was going on at the Thomas and Mack Arena in Vegas. But this gentleman in a Stone Cold shirt and his awesome knee pads and knee covers sat down at the top of the ramp after helping to put WWE champion John Cena through a table and cut the promo of his life. And yes, if you were a fan of CM Punk prior to this, you saw the promo he cut after he became Ring of Honor champion, and signing his WWE contract on the title became notorious and legendary. But for us sitting in the Thomas and Mack Center and folks like Aaron who were at home watching their website crash around them at the impact of this moment, we knew then it was special. We know now it was more than special. Every seemingly shoot off the cuff interview, promo, discussion, whatever, all looks back at this and goes, thank you for the allowance to go this far off the beaten path, at least in my opinion. You had this guy who was actively having his contract run out at the pay-per-view, 2.5, 3 weeks later, whatever it was, July 17th, and this is from June 27th of that year, breaking the fourth wall, mentioning Colt Cabana, who had been let go from WWE, mentioning Ring of Honor, mentioning New Japan, bringing up Brock Lesnar, bringing up Paul Heyman, who was sitting, Paul Heyman was not discussed on WWE television, other than in whispers at best. This is before Brock Lesnar came back to the company. This is before Heyman came back and established himself as the fucking GOAT within WWE as far as advocates, managers, whatever. Punk was told, speak your piece. Air your grievances. And he looked right at Vince that you do not want me to air my grievances. You don't. And he just kept going and only was stopped because he was going to dip into the anti-bullying campaign, which was obviously horseshit in his eyes. but he laid into Vince McMahon, and he really laid into John Laurinaitis, which made me a CM Punk fan for life, because of shit that happened that summer. And I just wanted to, I'd like to play the clip. I'd like to read the promo, but I can't cut it the way Punk cut it. I don't want to undermine the impact of it by, doing a lesser than impression or a parody or whatever. I just wanted to remind people that it's been 15 years, but it's only been 15 years. That's how it feels for me. It feels like it happened yesterday, and then I go, no, it was a hard 15 ago. A lot of shit has gone down. Let AI read it. I would rather cut it myself, let AI read it, but
no.
Yeah.
Just no.
No, because AI will fuck up some of the words and the way you phrase things.
Yes, it would.
So
I would like to read it, but no one wants to hear that.
Well,
and his doofus son-in-law.
Yeah,
doofus son-in-law.
What's so funny is, after I'm gone, you're still going to pour money into this company. I'm just a spoke in the wheel. The wheel's going to keep turning. I understand that. Vince McMahon is going to make money despite himself. He's a millionaire who should be a billionaire. You know why he's not a billionaire? Because he's surrounded himself with glad-handed, nonsensical douchebag yes men like John Laurinaitis, who's going to tell him everything he wants to hear. I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon is dead. But the fact is, it's not. It's going to be taken over by his idiotic daughter and his doofus son-in-law and the rest of his stupid family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For all the bandwagoners of WWE Creative is shitty right now, that last sentence is just like, yes, they're going to eat on that, right? But when Hunter was first handed that baton, I mean, the creative since 40 up until late last year has been unbelievable. And the fact is, Punk came back to the WWE when Vince McMahon's presence was dead. And it was Hunter that brought him back. So I think it's poignant that this promo was so impactful and he held absolutely nothing back and was still able to come back and still able to do the things he never got to do. He main evented WrestleMania twice now. He's been the world champion that was featured like a fucking world champion should be. Not playing second fiddle, with all respect to John and all respect to Dwayne Johnson. Punk as a WWE champion playing second fiddle to that feud is what cracked on him.
And we have people who are still mad about it to this day. I'm friends with someone who is. Every time he mentions about something that gets me mad, he's like, yeah, Rumble 2013. And he's like, shut up, Ash. No.
So Rumble 2013 almost got me kicked out of Greg Cherry's house because his wife at the time was such a rock fan, and I was up his ass about that. And she almost made me sleep on the porch in January in Pennsylvania.
Although we
I
did get
was
the
so
yeah.
Can I make a little quick comment about the CM Punk versus The Rock match at Royal Rumble 2013?
Well, JJ had his hand up also, so I didn't want to.
Sorry, I'll let JJ go first.
I didn't want to make sure he didn't.
I don't remember what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I make you lose your train of thought? Sorry.
I got it. I was going to say, not only did he main event WrestleMania twice, he main evented it once as the champion.
Yes. I look back at the Vegas promo now, and I think of what's happened when he went to AEW and again, I'm in Vegas.
And let's not overlook the fact that both his main events were in Vegas, where that pipe bomb took place.
I'm saying, yeah. And the fact that he returned to the industry while I was on my way to Vegas in 2021, and he once again is shutting things down around me, and I'm going, Phil, can we fucking chill? Can we chill when I'm going to Vegas? I'm begging you, Phil. You're killing me. I am so happy for CM Punk and the fact that, yes, it took all this time it took, but airing those grievances and getting that out of him and just allowing him to just say, fuck this because this. And here we are 15 years later wondering what is going to happen when he returns to television. Will they let him wait? Will they let him return, even though he's allegedly a SmackDown guy now? We don't know that. Rumor and innuendo are what they are.
I didn't know he was SmackDown. I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, that's the latest thing that's going around. They're trying to move him to SmackDown. But yeah, what is going to happen when we see CM Punk back on TV? And if it's in Chicago, that first Monday of July, take my human monies.
Him and his wife need to come back in Chicago.
So, I don't want to try the rabbit hole. We're trying to wrap up, but I am okay with the way AJ's run went. Like, if she doesn't come back, I'm okay. I miss her. Love to see her work a couple more, but they told her comeback story perfectly. She came in, she disrupted the shit out of everything, much like her hubby. Had her program with Becky and lost because she was never going to be, coming back full time. Becky's that person that's going forward.
Hey, she has a mental health clause in her contract, but going back to the Rock and Punk, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have got that arms are too short to box with God promo,
which was solid. Yeah. I love that one a lot. I love the one he cut on Vince. I forget what Raw it was, but he was in the yellow shirt. He was still WWE champion and just laid into him. I'm like, Virtue loves that one too, so I'm not gonna,
that whole summer, he mentioned WWE ice cream bars on TV. Like, when was the last time you heard that shit before he said that?
Yeah, we were so spoiled with the summer of Punk. The group of us, JJ and I and our girls and Mikey, all went to SummerSlam 2011 with some facet of Punk on our attire or somebody that was connected to Punk. I wore a Kings of Wrestling shirt that I brought from JJ because Claudio and Nero were so connected to Punk and Ring of Honor. We got a Colt Cabana blue Star of David shirt in that attire scheme because that's how much we love those folks. So yeah, I loved the summer of 2011. And I love that CM Punk has been given a second chance at making a lasting impression because goddamn it. And see, for me, I did not like CM Punk when I first met him, when I first encountered him at a show. I thought he was a grade A dick. It turns out he was, but for reasons that are valid. And then you have all these years later when he's still out of the business, for no reason other than he's a fellow hockey fan. He encounters my dad at the All-Star Weekend thing in 2017 out here in LA. And my dad asked him to sign my dad's business card from work, and Punk recognized the last name and asked if Frank knew me. And he did, and they spoke it out. And the fact that Phil didn't hold what I had said about him in the summer of 2011 against me was very gratifying. I'm not going to lie. Because JJ was in the apartment with me when the event in Chicago was going down. And I was not a kind person to anybody in that circle. I'll tell you what.
I was always a Punk fan, but
he caught the shit. Johnny Ace definitely caught all the shit he deserved. Fuck him. Yeah.
And double fuck him now.
But Ash, what were you going to say before you forget?
I'm sorry, Ash. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, it's okay. It was just like a little story I had. It's just like how during growing up as a wrestling fan, The Rock was one of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
And then getting back into pro wrestling when I did in the summer of 2007, CM Punk was my guy. So seeing those two wrestle like in a program was amazing. God, damn it, stupid dumbass sirens. Okay, anyway.
I love the peg.
So yeah, it's going into Royal Rumble. I was happy those two were like feuding with each other because the promo battles alone, because those are the reasons why I like The Rock. When I was a kid, I didn't like The Rock because of his in-ring ability. I just loved him because he was such a good shit talker.
Yeah, dude.
Charisma.
My cousins and I would quote The Rock all the time. We'd be like, "It doesn't matter what you think." He would call each other jabronis and tell everyone to take that whatever they have, stick it sideways up their ass and shit like that. As like little freaking 8-year-old kids.
I remember getting in trouble in high school because I made the teacher repeat what he just said. And I said, "How did you solve for X?" And as soon as he talked, I said, "It doesn't matter how you solve for X." And I made the whole class crack up. And boom, in school suspension.
Okay. I was such a Rock guy back in the day, and still am. I never wavered from Dwayne. I never wavered from Phil, much to Meacham's chagrin.
Yeah. I'm okay now.
When it was Punk Cena, I was Team Punk. When it was Rock Cena, I was Team Rock.
Yep.
Always rubbing it in his face.
Always.
Especially since both of my guys were coming up on the winning end of Cena.
Yeah.
Much to Emmanuel's joy.
Yes.
But I was such a Rock guy that in college, when we founded the club LBCC 316, which was not a Bible club like some people thought, we entered the school's chili cook-off. And my boy Gordon did the chili because he was a culinary student. We won't talk about the chili because he forgot to soak the beans and they weren't the best. But in order to present the chili, we all had to do a skit, which was graded, well, not graded, but voted on by the judges as who had the best skit to promote their chili. And you are talking to the guy that won that performance by doing a Rock impression.
Nice. Nice.
I had the KLBC people use my copy of WWF Volume 3, play the Rock's music, and I walked out there. It definitely wasn't no $500 silk shirt. It was a $10, thing, but it kind of had the Rock vibe to it. And I cut my promo about my chili, how it was the best damn chili in LBCC history. If you smell what the Rock is cooking. And I took home the award for best
tremendous
presentation.
You smelt what it was cooking and it was chili.
Hey.
You know what?
The irony is, as big of a Rock fan as I was, we didn't use Miami area code. We were calling our chili 504 chili because at the time, the No Limit Soldiers and everything were hot as fuck. And 504 was Louisiana.
Yep.
Which, granted, not that far from Florida.
No.
But we were trying to cash in on the success of the No Limit Soldiers and everything.
Yep.
Make them say,
Nah.
yeah.
And WCW got on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
You know what else is crazy?
Made him heels.
I only remember this because it was my damn birthday, but we're less than an hour on in West Coast time from 28 years of Undertaker throwing Mick Foley off the Hell in a Cell.
I saw that post on Twitter, dude. Yeah, the 28th of June. Fuck, 28 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. And Foley's still feeling it. God bless him.
What a memory to have for your birthday, Walter.
Right?
On this day.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I see Foley flying off the Hell in a Cell.
So when I was like Punk was going in as champion, this is when the 430 plus day reign came to an end. So when The Rock won, my immediate reaction was, "Oh, cool! Yeah, The Rock won. One of my favorite wrestlers won." And then the sudden realization of, "Oh shit, that means Punk's not champion no more." Oh shit.
Yeah.
What have we gotten ourselves into?
Yeah, because it should have been Punk Cena at Mania. It
Yeah, we
really
see you,
should
Charles.
have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see you, bro. I'm not
No.
gonna ignore you.
No,
It should have
I
been Punk Cena. Once in a
should-
lifetime should have been once in a lifetime. There should have been no twice in a lifetime. I understand Cena's redemption by beating the man who sent him down the dark path. But it should have been Punk Cena. It should have been Punk Miz the year prior.
Yep.
And it wasn't. And I totally understand why Punk left. And before any of us go any further, go ahead, Charles.
So yeah, because that's his point about the Rumble 2013. I am going to lie here. I know. I was like a full Cena fanboy back then. Still am, of course, but not as crazy. But I did question the whole why did Roxy need to happen again? What was the point of once in a lifetime?
Yeah.
It was so stupid. But and I thought the result of Punk losing the title was like, well, great. What's he doing at Mania? Oh, The Undertaker.
Well, see, I am always going to be on the bandwagon of end of an era should have been end of an era. It was booked as that. Neither of those guys should have wrestled again. And I know we've got some pretty cool stuff out of Triple H and out of Undertaker after that. But, I don't think Punk needed to be part of the streak. I don't think it did anybody any good other than it was a solid story. It was a fun story because it involved Paul's recent passing versus recent passing at that point. So I thought it was an okay way to go. But yeah, even as a John fan, even as a guy that liked Undertaker and always wanted him to wrestle forever, Cena Punk was the way to go in New Jersey. Punk and Miz was the way to go in Miami. Even if it was never going to be the main event. I'm sorry, 2011, not 2012. So, and for me, there's so many things, butterfly effect. You pull one thread, 20 more disintegrate around you. So we wouldn't have got things we've got.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to bring it up today with the promo because it's the anniversary and it's wasn't able to comment a whole lot in the moment because we went to the hotel and I got so fucking plastered. I remember when I sit on that show that night. Drunk Jeff was at that machine and then up in the room cutting promos afterwards. So
it's still up on the Casa channel.
I know.
Anybody wants to find it, you know what? I may go and look for it and just post it in the Shenanigans chat so that everyone can check it out.
Nice.
I don't watch myself back on purpose, especially when I've gotten fucked up as I got fucked up that night. So y'all have fun watching this shit.
Drunk Jeff is an experience.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And Drunk Jeff is on video more than Drunk Jeff would like to be on video.
Also valid.
But if you can unearth those gems, if you can find them, like finding a Mewtwo Pokemon, they are worth the watch.
Catch them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
There's the JJ No DQ debut from SummerSlam 2010.
2010. It's not up anymore, unfortunately, but
I've seen it float around.
Yeah, you just have to look hard because
you got to dig in the dark web.
Yeah, definitely the dark web for that one.
But it's out there.
The way back.
Drunk Jeff had to get carried through that by somebody who, for a while, wasn't mentioned on No DQ. I don't know the status anymore, so I'm not going to say his name. So, but yeah. And then Drunk Jeff is there for 2 episodes on my channel because post that Raw, we filmed 2 episodes.
Yeah, and to defend Jeff at 2010 SummerSlam, Jeff decided to tweet out his seat location, and Jeff then decided to keep bringing him libations through a 3-hour pay-per-view. So then Jeff had to be helped to the car and driven to Burbank from there.
So that just goes to show you how popular Jeff Meacham was in 2010. Like, do not be fooled about this man and his control over the fan bases.
And these are 2010 arena drink prices.
Yes.
And I
Staples Center prices.
Staples Center prices for drinks, which are even worse now. Thank God I know people. But before we leave, Emmanuel, if you're still in the chat, I got your TikTok of Johnny Gargano's meet and greet at Fanatics Fest. That is ridiculous. Gargano and Candice are doing meet and greets at Fanatics Fest, and Johnny is planked out.
Wait.
He's living the
You
game.
for real?
He's at the fucking podium. Candice is standing there being her bubbly self, and fucking Gargano's planked out.
So she's acting. Got it.
You know what? Considering Johnny Gargano did a whole ass Twitch live stream and was face down and nothing else, I am not surprised.
I admire the fucking commitment to the bit. He's a fucking champion.
He's going to keep doing it until his contract is up. From what I understand, both of their contracts are up this year. So
yes.
He'll probably be going across the street and join Ciampa in Jacksonville. Let Candice go there, please. Get her off my WWE television.
Well, now I want her and Monet in a match just to watch you fucking combust.
I sounds like cheer for Mercedes.
Damn.
So hang on. I want everyone to hear this.
Because Mercedes has never done anything to me personally.
I know.
Candice has.
I
Thank
want
you, Fett, for being there with the gimmick. I will make sure I bring that up.
I want so bad to have one of Gargano's last things in WWE to come out of the plank coma and challenge Sammy, because Sammy's been just fucking talking at him for weeks. Like, Gargano's like, no, fuck this. I earned this title shot listening to your shit for 2 months. Just say it.
I have to say this.
What if Danhausen curses Gargano and that's what gets him to come out of his coma?
Yes, please. Something like so stupid like that.
Damn it, JJ, you were in my brain. I was gonna say that.
No,
damn it.
Something like that. Because
You were in my brain.
Yeah, if Johnny and Candice are going to let their contracts run out and they're going to leave and go reunite with Tommaso in Jacksonville, then he needs to go out with something just like that off the fucking wall. Like, I don't need her to be a champion again. She got the speed title. She got her little runs here and there, and that's fine. But Gargano's been sitting here fucking, like, planked out for a year. Let him do something, for crying out loud.
I know I'm going to sound so tribalistic when I say this, but I'm just going to say it in general. I cannot wait for when Gargano goes to AEW and starts feuding with Ciampa, and people be like, oh my God, this is so cool. Be like, oh, really? It's all cool all of a sudden? You weren't saying that when he recommended you their feud for when they were in NXT, but all of a sudden you like it now that they're in AEW? Okay.
Hey, if they can have the kind of matches with the kind of intensity they had in NXT, shut them tribalists up. Tell you what.
I'm just saying it's so dumb. It's like,
it is dumb.
It's like,
if they're smart.
It's just like, I hate when fans do this. Like, they'll hate it when one company does it, but they'll like it when the company they like does it. And it's just like, no, what are we doing here?
No, 100%. But if they're smart, they won't have them feud right away. They'll reunite them as DIY and let DIY feud with all the tag teams. And then a couple years down the road, they can break them up.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I like to see Johnny go to AEW and Candice go to TNA and reunite with Indy, personally. I know you're not a fan of Candice, and I totally understand and acknowledge your justification of it. But there's still...
I can see it, just because TNA needs knockouts and knockout
Yes.
I
tag
was about to
teams.
say that, yeah.
Yep, they do.
But that's. I'm only gonna say no because I think they would want to stay together. I don't
Yeah.
think Johnny and Candice would want to be separated.
That's probably accurate, especially at this point in their careers. They've got the kiddo now. They're a traveling couple, so it makes sense to not separate them. But I just don't know if, and again, trying very hard to talk around your personal bias about Candice. I don't know if the AEW roster has enough room compared to the TNA Knockouts roster. Like AEW, so many talented women. TNA is lacking big time.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. I will not argue you on that point. Personal bias be damned. I will not argue you on that. But I think it's time to wrap things up.
I would tend to agree.
Let's go ahead and begin the shills so we can get out of here. Walter, I see your comment in the comment box, so I will let you shill first so you can get on out of here, birthday boy.
Yep, you can find me on Rage of Wrestling, on the YouTube, the bread and butter of it all, the Instagram at walter.cruz.940, and on the X, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it, at Walter Alex Cruz. And yeah, thanks. Be a beautiful birthday present if everybody just subscribe. There's like literally 124. That'll take me way over the limit.
Seriously, he needs 58 to hit his 300 goal. Let's make this happen, people. Yes, and even though it hasn't hit midnight here on the West Coast just yet, happy birthday, Walter.
Thanks, everyone.
I know you said that the GCW from tonight is in question tomorrow because you may have surprise shenanigans for your birthday, but you think you'd be home in time for the 5 o'clock show? Because Nick said he's available for that one.
I'll let you know before then, because I have no idea what's going to go on.
Fair enough. Keep me posted.
All right.
All right. Good night, Walter.
All right. Good night.
Been there with foe.
Yes. Been there with foe. Charles, go ahead and promote yourself.
You can follow me on X on Crandall, and you better believe it chase you, or be cursed.
Hey, Noah's not here. Everybody in this room, I think, believes in Chase University.
That's right.
Agree. I'm sorry about those that don't. That's watching.
If you
And if you haven't watched yet, go watch the Andre Chance 2-part interview with Duke Hansen.
Better.
Great stuff. The first part, about 45 minutes, is basically the whole beginnings of Andre's career. And the second video, which is about an hour and a half long, is all about Chase U.
That's right. Here's your homework, kids. Watch that interview, Heyman on CVV, and Cody on Ariel Awani. And don't come back and watch Free Window to get that shit done. You heard me.
Hey, don't forget about our interviews, damn it. We'll get to those momentarily, but don't forget about our interviews, man.
You're going to show those, and you'll do a masterful job.
I try, but Ash, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody where you can be found?
God damn it.
You can find me on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, at ShadowBadAsh, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Baddie for Wrestling. Don't be a dickhead.
That's right.
And now you can buy Baddie for Wrestling merchandise with the I Heart Bloody Techers shirt that is now available on the Spring Store. Description below. All right. That brings us to Meacham.
Well, you can also find Ash seated tomorrow for Sabre and Omega because, damn it, we are going to be seated for that match. underscore Jeff Meacham on Instagram, on Threads, and on Twix. If you must contact me on Facebook, it's at Jeff Meacham. Just ask me first. Brian, you keep that separate still, but it doesn't seem to happen very well. But yeah, I am all about whenever I can pop in and say hello, I'll be here. And that was the case today. That'll be the case for part of tomorrow. But the mouse shall call upon me. So I will not be here next week, unfortunately. But I'll be on Main Street for 4th of July fireworks. Say less. But on the 11th, I think I'm working late enough where I can be here. So I'll let you know. But always glad to come home.
Yes. We saw him earlier for a little while. But go and follow the Simple Man Noah Foster if you choose on X and YouTube at nfoster1916. For he is nothing more than a simple man and a lifelong fan of I'm not going to be able to do it like him, but professional wrestling. Damn it.
Damn it all. That's right.
Follow our resident Pink Ranger at Rangers of Wrestling on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. Datilla _ on X. And also make sure you follow her new startup, Pop Culture Powerbomb. That is PC Powerbomb on the X. And then there is I.
Yes. God damn it. I love that.
Leave.
You know, should I do that one tonight, or because of Night of Champions, should I run with Jade?
I'm good with either. Run with Jade tonight. Yeah, whatever works.
You can find me on Instagram at the Renegade JJ Williams. YouTube is Casa D18 Studios. X is Casa D18 Studio. No S at the end. As Charles says, believe in Chase University. God damn it.
That's right.
I still think I did a phenomenal job on that graphic.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And I love how I blend in so seamlessly. Like, at first glance, people don't usually catch it until they do the double take. It's like, wait a minute, you're right there.
Center stage, baby.
Literally front and center.
Right between JC and Thea with Chucky in front of me, as I should be.
As you should. That's right.
That's why Andre Chase is looking the way he is. He's like, motherfucker, you're still in my spotlight. This is my university.
I think he's more looking at the fact that you're making yourself a JC and Thea sandwich with a side of Chucky.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, follow the Simply Reliable Studios at SR Studios 2024. That is where all of our big announcements get posted. That is where some of our streams get posted.
Yes.
Been posting more streams there than we originally were, but we seem to get a lot more views through that. So the key is just flipping those views to subscribers. You know, and that's what we're working on. That's what we're working on. But that's where you find all of our big promotions, like our interviews, which, if you haven't already seen it, go back in the archives and check out our interview with Royal Prestige from earlier this week. You can also find the link on nodq.com. Shout out to Aaron Rift for posting it there. Yes, it's the link to his YouTube channel and the interview, but beggars can't be choosers. We're getting promotion, goddammit.
I'm saying.
Make sure you guys tune in this coming Thursday, as it was announced and confirmed in the spaces that we will be having Nasty Leroy on for an interview. Nasty Leroy is on the poster for GCW's Backyard Wrestling Show, which will be Sunday, July 5th, from an anonymous backyard in America.
Oh, wow, next Sunday.
Mm-hmm. So we will be having him on ahead of that to discuss his career, that show, training at the Nightmare Factory, and so much more. I am still working out a time, but I think I can go ahead and acknowledge and announce that come July 8th, we will be having a Hogan on the show. Kiera Hogan, that is.
Yes.
The former 2-time TNA Knockout champion and one of Jade's former baddies will be on the show. We also have confirmed for July 28th, once the 90-day non-compete expires, we're going to be having the former Joe Gacy on for an interview. I am really looking forward to talking with him.
I'm looking forward to watching that one. That's going to be good.
As I used to have my show back in the day, I'm curious to go inside the mind of Gacy.
Scary place.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Can have no doubt of that.
And then for those of you in the Tennessee area, July 11th, Pro Wrestling Symphony is having a free show. Yes, free. F-R-E-E, entitled of all things, Free for All. And we will be the match sponsors for their tag team title match.
Nice.
As Royal Prestige defends the belts against Dragon Kai.
Damn.
I thought that was the graphic that I had in there, but I guess it wasn't. What's up, Charles? I see your hand up while I grab the graphic.
I like how the image that was a full blown game freaking thing. That was kind of cool. That is cool. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
The game comes to mind. That one.
Yep, and it's Super Smash Brothers Melee. Is what
that makes it better.
For.
Yes, yes. That's
Is it better?
Yeah. Now that I see it, I can't unsee it. Yeah, yeah.
But there's
I saw it instantly.
With our logo on there, sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios.
I love that. 2 weekends from now.
Yes. And then we showed it all off earlier, but we'll run through the merch one more time. Again, link in the description below. You can get the Simply Reliable Studios shirt. You can get our Halloween themed shirt where the logo is made out of bones. You can get our Christmas themed logo. You can get our very own Saturday Shenanigans shirt. You can get a shirt for Walter, the Rage of Wrestling. You can also get Walter's I Speak Typo shirt.
That is great. That is
You
great.
could also get Ash's I Heart Bloody Techers shirt. You can get the Emmanuel card shirt.
That may be my favorite, I'm not going to lie.
And you can get your very own We Want Mina shirt.
Jesus Christ. Mina and her Shirakawa's on display. Good Lord Almighty.
Yep.
It's too late for that shit. I gotta go to bed soon.
Go on down there.
I gotta work tomorrow. Fuck.
So
Anyway.
Go to the link in the description. Buy the merch.
Yes.
We might try to figure out something for the first fan that buys some merch and submits a picture of it. We may try to come up with some kind of giveaway.
Yeah. And I just personally want to again thank Aaron Rift. AaronRift.com.
Yes.
At Aaron Rift on Twitter, X, Twitch, whatever the fuck. Because that's still mind fucking me. We're broadcasting on his channels, whatever channel it is. It's still weird.
The original pitch was for the No DQ channel, but he was concerned about the algorithm with the watch alongs and then his reviews and
100%.
everything. And like, I get it. I still don't fully understand algorithms, but he's been doing it for way longer than I do.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I totally get it. However, he did say that if the views are up there, you know, if he sees like a big audience, then he may go ahead and just say, fuck it. And start putting it on the No DQ channel. So we had like 450 people watching our watch along today. We've got almost 125 people watching us now.
Love it.
Again, a good chunk of those people are on his channels. You know, because when you really think about it, Shenanigans maybe cracks 20 people on a normal basis.
Yeah.
So, but as Jeff said, thank you again to Aaron Rift for allowing us to be on his YouTube and X pages. Make sure you follow everybody. You've seen the handles. So for all you people out there that are watching on Aaron's channels, again, we don't put everything that we do on them. We've been allowed to put our interviews, shenanigans, and the watch-alongs of the three major companies, WWE, AEW, and TNA. We're not even sure if that extends to Ring of Honor and NXT yet, because those are under the AEW and WWE umbrellas.
Yeah, those are subsidiaries.
You know, but we also don't have a way to do NXT watch-alongs right now, and Ring of Honor does like 3 shows a year, so we got time to figure out if we can put that up there. But for right now, it's just WWE, TNA, and AEW.
Yes.
So if you want to see some of the stuff that we have in our watch-along trailers that aren't those companies, you need to be following the rest of us, because that's where you'll find those shows.
If you like New Japan stuff, subscribe to Batty for Wrestling and Noah Foster's channel.
Yes, exactly. So for Nick, the Canadian King of Food, for Walter, for the Simple Man Noah Foster, for Charles and Grogu,
yes,
for our Canadian friend Ash, for the Nick Fury of this shit, Jeff motherfucking Meacha. I have been the moderator extraordinaire. I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Thanking you guys for joining us this evening, and we will catch you guys next time. Have a good night, everyone.